furniture industry today, right? We're talking about tariffs a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the companies that you guys know, like Nike, Restoration Hardware, business like this, Wayfair. We're going to talk about their business models a little bit. And this is going to help you guys kind of understand why a lot of these experts are lying. Okay. The people that you see on the Fox Newses and the CNNs, most of these people that have never owned a business in their life, they don't actually know what it means to work a hard day in their entire life. The hardest day they ever had was when the Wi-Fi didn't work at their when they're at their MBA program. So you can tell I can be very cynical about these kind of people. I actually own a manufacturing business, right? I'm not some guy in my fucking garage making furniture. I actually own a full company here where we have to actually manufacture shit, and we got to make things really happen. And I get really frustrated listening to these talking heads try and convince you guys that tariffs are the worst thing on earth, that the furniture industry is in desperate decline, and that no one can make any money. And it gets really aggravating, So I'm going to dispel some of these things that we're hearing. I was just listening to Anna Kasparian talk about this, and again, she has no idea what the hell she's talking about. And again, I say this with all respect to these people, but respectfully, fucking people have no idea what you're talking about. You've never ran businesses in your life. You've never started anything in your garage and turned it into, whatever multi-million-dollar business. So I'm tired of listening to these people try and tell us what they want us to think, right? So we can think for ourselves. So anyway, my name is Eric Wilkin. I own the Resplendent Crow. Yes, son, I'm going to slow down just for you, buddy. I own the Resplendent Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We are a fine furniture boutique company, meaning we make beautiful custom furniture. We make beautiful production-based furniture. We do about 500 pieces a year, and we are known for our high gloss lacquer coating. You guys can go to resplendentcrow.com and see what it is that we do, and see that it is a real manufacturing company that employs real people, real Americans, right here in St. Louis, Missouri, and we do it the right way. We don't outsource everything to the third world. We do also import solid brass hardware. I have two manufacturing businesses over there that make hardware for me that we design and work with on a regular basis. If anyone knows of anyone that makes solid brass hardware here in America, hit me up. Let me know, because I would love to be able to make that here as well. But so I understand tariffs. I understand importing. I understand how this whole conversation really works. And again, as someone who actually does these two things, I'm really frustrated with people talking crap about, again, tariffs, about we can't make anything in America anymore. Americans won't do this job. Americans won't do that job. My business is a testament to the fact that we will absolutely do this kind of work. We do not mind getting dirty, making things, being in loud environments. And you don't need to be afraid of tariffs. You don't need to be afraid of the economy. There is plenty of money to go around for everyone. If you want to start a small business, you can do it. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. But we need to talk about what we're hearing about in the furniture industry, right? As again, I own a furniture business, right? So anyway, if you guys are in the stream, hit the like button. I'm going to show you guys add to the discussion. And I'm going to give you guys some information about the furniture industry. And we're going to talk about this article that I read. And again, sorry, guys, I got to walk over here and grab this article. I left it in my other spot. Yeah, it was an article I read on CNBC, and they were talking about how tariffs are really hurting the furniture industry, and how the furniture industry is on the cusp of collapsing, essentially. And 11 businesses have gone bankrupt, and it's nothing but doom and gloom, okay? Now, I'm here to tell you guys that my business is thriving, okay? My business, I haven't seen sales like this since COVID, right? And while these people want to point to things like tariffs, and they want to point to things like illegal labor, and they want to, just point to everything under the sun, the truth is, the thing that's hurting the furniture industry in general is just we're just not selling as many houses as we used to. The housing market is, it's been cold for 3 or 4 years at this point, and we have elevated interest rates. And the truth is that people don't buy a ton of furniture unless they're moving around a bunch. One of the great things about the furniture industry here in America is that America is a hyper-mobile country, right? Whatever part of America you go to, whether it's the East Coast, the West Coast, the North, the South, we all speak the same language, right? We all have the same kind of agreed upon, culture for the most part, right? South's a little bit different from the North, West Coast a little bit different from the East Coast, but on the whole, we're kind of all the same, So a lot of countries don't have that, right? If Italy goes over to whatever Brussels, they don't speak the same language. Their cultures are very different, So we don't have that problem here in America, okay? So let's talk about exactly what this article is saying. And again, guys, if you don't want to hear about the industry of furniture, this might not be something you want to talk about. Normally I talk politics with you guys, but today I'm going to talk about the industry because, again, I'm tired of these quote unquote experts trying to tell us what's really going on. And all they're trying to do, guys, is they're just trying to clickbait you to death. They're trying to fearmonger because if it bleeds, it leads. Okay. Again, the Resplendent Crow doing awesome. Okay. Okay. So it says that the high cost on imports is the latest blow to the furniture industry, which had been buckling under high interest rates and sluggish housing market well before tariffs came into the picture. Right now, this is a true statement. Right, there's no doubt about it. The furniture industry has kind of been in rough shape, but what they're not saying is the furniture industry prior to these high interest rates was fucking killing it. Right, so I said many times before, I was doing $500,000 before COVID. Now I do $2 million, right? So my business grew 4x inside of 2 years, right? Now this is every other furniture company that is in my space, right? The reason I am still here and I'm not crying about tariffs and I'm not crying about interest rates, I'm not crying about anything, is because I actually make an American product, okay? Most of these furniture companies are making their shit in China and Vietnam. Those are the two places that make the most furniture anywhere in the world, okay? Now, you guys might not know this, but listen to this. Everyone loves stats, right? 84% of all the cabinets in America are made in China and Vietnam, okay? So if you're one of these companies that makes a ton of their shit overseas, guess what? You're going to be hating the tariffs, right? You're absolutely going to be hating it, right? You have no control over your supply chain like we American furniture makers have, right? So I don't care about the imports on plywood because guess what? My plywood comes from America, right? I don't give a fuck about the cost of tariffs on plywood in Vietnam because I buy hardwood right here from Indiana, okay? So a lot of these people are crying about tariffs. They're not understanding that the business model that we have been taught in school, right, which is essentially to look at a spreadsheet, find the cheapest product you can and sell it for the most money possible. Those of us that haven't employed that MBA business model, okay, we're doing just fine, okay? And the truth is that if they want to increase tariffs 400%, like I'm here for it. I said on my cast many times, like 400% on everything from the third world, right? But then guess what, guys? Your Nike tennis shoes are going to cost $400, right? Your Restoration Hardware credenzas are going to cost $10,000, right? You're not going to be able to get that cheap shit that we're able to get today. And guess what? Nike shoes aren't cheap, right? Restoration Hardware is not cheap, right? But the business model that these guys have been taught, they've been taught to make the product as cheaply as possible. And then where do they put their money, guys? Where do you think all the money goes? Okay. And everyone's going to say, oh, it goes to the investors, right? No. It does go, a lot of it does go to the investors, and it's funny because, well, we're not going to get it. The money goes into branding, guys, and this is the thing that every school in America teaches, right? Every MBA that goes out there, has to learn what EBITDA is, and the ROI strategy, 3 to 5 year tax plans. You're paying for all that shit, and they're making your stuff overseas. The people in your country aren't learning how to do this work. The people that work for these companies aren't learning how to grow their own companies, how to, maybe go do something for themselves, maybe learn how to make something, right? They're all being taught how to do this analytical, AI-generated work now, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they're very prone to hearing this bullshit that we hear on television, right? So when they say companies like Restoration Hardware are really struggling, like, fuck those guys, right? Those guys are charging the same amount of money that I charge, right? As an American furniture manufacturer, they're charging the same amount of money, and they're making that shit over in Vietnam. They're bringing it back here. They're making $100 million gallers. They're buying luxury private jets and yachts, and they're taking y'all motherfuckers to the cleaners, right? You think you're getting some, amazing product, and the truth is, you're paying for some guy. I forget his name, Gary something. Gary Friedman, I think is his name. You're paying for this guy to live, lavishly, right? Meanwhile, the people that should be learning how to make the product that he sells, they don't fucking exist. They're not in America. They're all over in Vietnam, right? They're over there in Vietnam. Okay, so they're not teaching anybody here how to do what it is that we do, but they're putting that image out there, and that's what these guys do. They spend insane amounts of money, guys, on branding, right? Advertising, marketing, and creating this I want to call it an illusion, but creating this idea that if you have their product, you're going to be amazing, right? The other company that does this really well is Nike, okay? Nike spends something, I want to say it's something like $12 of every shoe they make, right? The $45 that they make, right? 45 is also going to the material for the shoe. The rest of it goes towards branding, guys. And these guys spend a fortune on branding, and they are fucking terrified of tariffs because it destroys their business model, okay? Now, if you're an American manufacturer of anything, right, you don't care. And again, when they say, oh, the furniture companies are taking it up the ass, right? It's getting real tough out there. They got the double whammy of tariffs and interest rates, and the housing market's not moving. Well, guess what? My sales are better than they've ever been since COVID. Okay. Why is that? Again, you don't hear me crying about tariffs. You don't hear me whining about the fucking housing market. But again, these people, they get on television and they just start screaming bloody murder because their industries are in jeopardy, right? The financial strategists that work for them, again, they're all terrified of losing their jobs, having to go out and pick up a fucking shovel and make something. They're terrified, right? So again, dumb guy, never graduated high school. I got no problems running an American furniture company, but you're telling me that all these people on CNBC, they can't figure this out, that tariffs are going to be the death of small business? Like, fuck no, they're not. You know, tariffs are not going to slow us down one bit. We got this thing on lock, but they want you guys to believe that tariffs are going to be the end of everything, right? The slowing housing market is the reason the furniture industry isn't being able to compete right now, or they're slowly shrinking, right? And again, I put a link in the description for this video that goes to a talk I did prior to tariffs coming in. It was basically in the heart of like 2023, I think is when I was doing it, when a lot of furniture businesses were actually hurting. And what happened to the furniture industry, which nobody talks about, is the fact that COVID stole sales from about 3 years forward on, right? So the sales that happened in 2020, 2021, and 2022 stole sales, so much business from the future, right? And that's what we saw. So come whatever, 2023, these sales started to ebb, right? By 2024, we're like, oh shit, like this is a problem. We got to figure this thing out, right? Then it became important for businesses to really make money, right? You had this thing called free cash, right? Which is the money you have left over to pay all your fucking expenses, okay? We had a lot of businesses in 2023 and 2024 in my furniture industry that went kaput, right? They went out of business because what they were doing is they were living on debt, right? And this is what happens with a lot of these businesses. They don't have a ton of cash. They literally take out loans, right? They'll take out loans for like 3 years, and they'll essentially they'll operate on those loans, and then they hope that the sales come in to then pay the loan, pay the executives and the shareholders some money, and then the cycle just repeats. And every 3 to 5 years, they re-up these loans. They renegotiate them, or they take out new loans, or they continue the old loans that they had with new terms, right? Whatever those terms are going to be. If you want to make it in the furniture industry, you cannot do that anymore. Money is no longer cheap. Money is no longer, damn near free like it's been forever, right? You have to actually turn a profit. And this is the real problem with the furniture industry. Most of these people cannot turn a profit, right? And again, this is one of the reasons that they started going over to the third world starting in 2001, right? I mean, everyone knows, so we let China, the World Trade Organization, and anybody that could started sending all their work overseas, okay? Now, what do? How do we fix this problem? Right? Again, my business is doing great, and again, I sell to a very high tier kind of a customer, but at the same time, like I figured it out. You tell me these companies can't figure it out. I find that really hard to believe, and then they say, oh, we can't make the furniture here for the same price, right? Our costs are going to be too high. Well, you know what, motherfuckers, your business model failed. And guess what? It needs to fail because the people that actually make money in this industry, we need more people like that to then come in and create new business models, new ways to make money. And maybe that means that you can't have a fucking board of directors with 20 people on that board collecting $250,000 a year salaries, sending dividends out to all your shareholders. Maybe y'all motherfuckers got to work a little bit. I'm sorry, like I don't feel bad for any of these people, right? When I hear this thing, that like Trump's putting let's see here, in October 1st, 2025, there was what do you call, like Liberation Day, or I forget what Trump called it when he did all the tariffs. Like, Trump's such a hype man. But all these rates came out on these various countries, right? So Vietnam was the big one, 46%. When that happened, Restoration Hardware stock was cut in half in a day, right? What does that tell you, right? Their stock was $200 a share. I think it went down to like 111 bucks in one day, because it basically meant that company was no longer profitable, right? Because they're not able to utilize the third world. Meanwhile, companies like mine, I get fucking telephone calls coming in all the time now. I get more swings at those big ticket sales because, again, my products are on par with these fucktards that sent all the work to the third world for the last, 30 years at this point, or excuse me, 20 years. I apologize. So These people are crying about tariffs. They're crying about interest rates when the truth is their business models suck. Their business models no longer work. And just like me, when I was trying to figure out how to make this fucking thing work, they are going to have to figure this shit out. And if they don't figure it out, they need to go out of business. Because more businesses like mine, where we've got essentially 10 employees in 20,000 square feet, fucking business we grew from a 1.5 car garage, 5 miles up the road to where now we have a big 2-story factory where we make shit. Okay? These businesses need to fail. And these talking heads, they need to shut the fuck up. I'm tired of these guys coming on here. They've never fucking worked a day in their lives. They have no idea how to grow anything. And they're going to tell me what's good for small business. Like, there's this guy, his name is Alonzo something. He's part of this small business, association. He always talks about exactly what small business needs. He's an advocate for small business. Motherfucker's never had a job a day in his life. Trust fund baby, MBA, and he's been on boards his entire life. And he's an advocate for small business. Get fucked, man. I hope whoever that is, he sees this shit and he knows that there's people out there that know this guy's a fucking fraud, right? And the guy Mike Rowe, everybody loves Mike Rowe, right? I like Mike Rowe too. I like his show. I like his philanthropic stuff that he does. He basically has what he calls hardship program, right? So if you want to become a welder, you want to become a plumber, you want to become a tradesman, you can apply for one of his hardship grants and he will pay for you to go to the trade school. But you know what? Mike Rowe's never fucking started a business. He is a bachelor of liberal arts, if I remember correctly, graduated from college. He's never started a small business. He does not understand what the fuck it takes to start a small business. He had a great idea. He ran with it. And again, no shade on that guy at all. But when people like that are the voice for people like us, like, I got a real problem with that. We need people that actually have done some shit to start advocating for people that have done the shit, right? So yeah, so hyper offended by the stuff that I'm hearing, and I'm listening to the show called Her Take, which is Anna Kasparian. She's on the Young Turks, and they get on here and they talk about issues all the time. And again, great show. I like to listen to them, but they're trying to talk today about how tariffs are hurting the small tradesmen, right? They're talking about tariffs are hurting, the people that, work on the job sites and the people that work in the factories, and they're saying how this stuff isn't working. These bitches have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And again, if you try and even converse with them about it, they got nothing to say. They don't want to talk to anybody that's actually in the trades, okay? So again, more people on television trying to tell us what is good for small business, what's good for my industry, the fucking furniture industry, okay? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of listening to somebody tell me what my small business needs, which what they're really advocating for is big business. That's what they're always advocating for small business, because you know what, small business and big business, we're not the same, right? It's very rare that a small business becomes a big business, right? And what's happened the last 20 years is big business has fucking eaten all of our lunch by sending all the work to the third world. And then if they can't outcompete us in the third world, they bring the third world into America, and then they employ those people instead of employing the people that live in this country and that work in these industries. Okay, so either way, they're trying to fuck the guy in the middle, and I've had it. I'm absolutely done with it. I do not want to hear people, again, try and fucking tell me how to run my business or that my industry is in trouble, because my industry is not fucking in trouble. Okay, so there's my initial rant, guys. Hope you guys like that one. Anyway, if you're in the stream, hit the like button, add the discussion. If we have any tradespeople, if we have any small business owners, if we have anybody that has ever tried to run a small business, has failed at small business, or wants to do small business, put it in the comments. Okay, I'm going to go through comments right now, and then I'm going to go through some more of this article. I printed it out. I couldn't. Anyway, small business is doing just fine. Okay, tariffs suck. Don't get me wrong. I know that tariffs suck, but the real problem with tariffs is that big business is terrified. They're fucking terrified of tariffs. They're terrified of having to pay the American worker what the American worker is entitled to. So they're bringing the fucking third world in here. Okay. This is what these guys are terrified of. Their whole, the idea of there being 1,000 furniture companies is death for them, right? Because you don't need their shit product. You don't need it, right? The idea that there's 100 shoe companies, Nike's terrified of that, right? You guys understand, like, there's hardly any shoe companies left, right? No one makes fucking shoes in America. They always say, well, we can't make that here. We don't make that here anymore. It's like, well, why is that? Where'd all the fucking shoe companies go? Oh yeah, y'all went to fucking China and Vietnam and Indonesia, right? And then when somebody wants to start a shoe company here in America, there's no way to make fucking molds for shoes, right? If you, like, by some ungodly way, you're able to get through the gauntlet that it takes to start a business in America, the companies then just come up and buy you out. Or they'll put in regulations to make it harder for you to do the work it is you want to do, right? Like try buying fucking plywood that was made 20 years ago. Ain't fucking happening. Plywood now today has to be sustainably raised. It has to be free of things like formaldehyde. It has to have certifications. Like, get the fuck out of here. The reason these rules and regulations are put in place is to make it more difficult for small businesses to be able to start, to grow, and to prosper and become the future competition for big business. And again, as an actual a real advocate for capitalism and a real advocate for American-made businesses and American companies, these people fucking drive me crazy. So, all right, I'm sorry, guys, I'm done. Let's read, and we'll continue on. Okay, we got that Minecraft Lego guy. Good, glad you're here, dude. Good to see you. We got a lot of people that come to these streams, and they've been following me for a while, and they participate and they comment, and I really do appreciate it. So yeah, Josh Mance, you've been here a lot. Sent thumbs up. Thanks, dude. Okay, this is Komataka Justina. That's a lot of words there, man. I received a lot of letters. Okay, you're spot on. My husband is making a small business work, but it is hard. Yeah, and this is God, so Comaretto Justine. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name. I really do apologize. And yeah, I'm curious what your struggles are as a small business owner, because the struggles that I have as a small business owner are that there are not enough people to do the work that I do. And the truth is that small business is relegated to the shit, right? We're relegated to the people that society doesn't give a fuck about, and we're expected to train these people, right? We're expected to pay them, $25 an hour, and they know not a fucking thing. They don't know how to operate in polite society. All the people that went to college, right? The people that can't, do anything like for my industry, everyone went to college, right? So that when they come and they need a job, which happens, right? I get people that, they've got bachelors of science, they went to school for computers, they come here wanting to learn how to sand and build furniture, right? And I can't pay them $35 an hour when they don't fucking know anything. Like, I can't do it. And they can't take, $18 an hour because they got fucking bills. They got rent. They got car payments. They got student loans. Maybe they got a kid. It's like this system is broken and it's designed to be this way. There has to be a way at some point for small business to train the fucking people that are left in society, train these motherfuckers to do something. But you will never get help as a small business owner from your federal government, guys. Fucking never. They will never, ever give you anything, right? So if you want to go get a fucking basket weaving degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, they will make a fucking degree for you. They will then get the government to federally back a loan to give you $200,000 to go learn nothing. Meanwhile, if you're a small business, right, you do $2 million a year, you got 10 employees, you've been in business forever, you deal with senators, you make shit for Congress, you make people for fucking rappers, rock musicians, you make furniture for fucking everybody. They will not give you a fucking loan unless you have some assets that they can take back from you in the event that you can't pay that loan, right? It's not enough to have been in business forever. It's not enough to have money in the bank. It's not enough to show a track record of growth that most businesses would fucking kill for. They will not give you fucking money unless you're willing to put up your house, which I've fucking done before to get my business where it is, right? I've sold fucking cars. I've done all kinds of shit. Our system does not want small businesses to prosper, all right? And anybody that tries to tell me different, like I would love to have this argument with you. So anyway, so yeah, you're spot on. You said your husband is making small business work, but it's hard. Yeah, it is very hard, So I want to hear if people are in the stream, like, tell me what the things you're struggling with, because I'll bet we're struggling with the same things. But again, once you've been in business for 10 years, it actually does get a little bit easier. But there's still months where your sales, you'll have $100,000 one month, and then you'll have $40,000 the next month. Even though you're still spending $1,000 a month on advertising, right? You're still spending $500 a month on influencer programs. You're still spending all the fucking money, but your sales do this, right? And again, you can't get the money to help even that stuff out, right? And the solution would be to make all your shit in China like everybody else, right? But ain't fucking happening, man. I ain't doing it. I would rather go work for somebody else than make my shit in a third world. I'll put it that way. All right, let's keep going. Sorry, guys. This is of all the topics, this is the one that boils my blood more than anything. I know I've been doing all streams on Epstein. Epstein doesn't hold a fucking candle to how I feel about small business. Okay, user TTBR549. Man soup. Okay. Let's see. We got RSC711 speak. Thanks, dude. Yeah, boy, RED just got my neighbor Gabe Owens to subscribe. Good, man. And get everyone to subscribe to this. Like I said, this is a real business. This is a real company, right? And I show people all the stuff that I do. I show people how we make things, the business of making furniture, how to work with metal, how to do all kinds of things. And I try and be transparent. I try and do a lot of live streams because I don't have time to produce fucking content, right? I'm an actual business. I'm not a fucking content creator. All these faux fucking furniture makers on YouTube showing you guys how to make this fucking retarded furniture, and they're basically living off of clicks, subscriptions, and advertising. They're like, oh God, sign up for my Patreon. You know, it's so aggravating what the furniture maker or the tradesman has been reduced to. So anyway, okay, let's see. So Marito, Justin. God dang, I wish you would tell me your name in audio so I could say it right. Okay, okay, so tariffs, right? So I'm curious why tariffs are your problem. So clearly you're importing stuff, right? And everybody imports stuff, right? So when I bash imports, like I import stuff, right? I told you guys that I sell some of the most beautiful hardware there is by having it manufactured in India. My wife is from India. We speak the language. We know the country, right? So we can go there. We can speak the language. We can send drawings and put them in whatever kind of format we need to. Like we have the capabilities to do this kind of stuff. But you have to be very careful by bringing in so much stuff, okay? And this is no shade on anybody. And I know I need to get to comments, but I need to say this before I forget. The education system has bastardized what it means to be a small business owner in America, okay? This idea that all you got to do is come up with an idea, right? Go over to the third world, white label something that they already have, or work with a manufacturer over there to make the product you have. You don't have to have any factory. You don't have to have any employees that know how to make shit, right? You don't have to worry about the fucking insurance. You have to deal with the fucking EPA, OSHA, all the bullshit, the threat of being sued by employees. Your risk is so low, right? And you get to call yourself a successful business owner, even though you make all your shit in another country, right? Like I got a real fucking problem with this. And again, I know people do it. I'm trying not to be a dick about it, but I'm tired of this idea that we can just utilize the third world and then that's all we got to do, right? Meanwhile, if you do want to make something here in America, it's damn near impossible. So, okay. User TP for 549 exactly. H-1B visa. Yeah, the H-1B visa is tricky. That's literally how my wife's husband came over here and his entire family came over here, right? So we got a lot of people. And listen to this, guys. You won't hear this story either. So everyone likes to talk shit on H-1B. And again, I'm all for it. You guys want to cancel H-1B visas? I'm on. Like, if that's the rule, do it, right? But for whatever reason, we can't seem to, fix that problem, right? I mean, shocker. But anyway, so the H-1B visa. Here's the thing. So when my wife's husband came over here, he came over here, worked for a company, not in Missouri. I think he was working in North Carolina. But he came over here making probably 60, 70 grand, right? So he wasn't making a ton of money, okay? That guy came here, right? And he brought my wife at the time. And they were she couldn't work here, right? So when the spouses come in, the people that have the visa, they can't work, right? So they literally just have to stay at home and do nothing, right? Which is not a good way to start your welcome to America situation, right? So that's one thing that's kind of fucked up, right? Now, but this guy, and what I want to tell you guys is that all the people that I know that have come over here from H-1B visas, most of them have become American citizens, and they make upwards of $150,000 a year, okay? So say what you will about them, but whatever has happened, they came over here and they grew, right? They became American citizens, and now they're super productive members of society. And that is what I want for everybody that comes to this country, whether you come over here illegally, whether you come over here as an H-1B visa or you come over here however. Like, I want everyone to be able to do that, And so if that's the story for most people that come in this country, I think it's a win-win. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, Mike Connors. Mike Connors, you're in here. Good to see you, dude. 3431. I'm a crane mechanic that is trying to start a small business like yours, but it's hard to make it work. Yeah, Mike. And again, I did a stream just for Mike, showing him how I paint things to try and help him in any way that I can, because I really respect people that are trying to do this thing that we do, which is small business, right? It's fucking hard to work 10 hours a day, in Mike's case, as a crane operator, and then come home and do this other thing, okay? That takes a lot, right? And if you got a bunch of kids, you got a wife or a spouse, or if you're a woman, you got a husband, right? Whatever. It's very difficult. So not only do you got to try and, again, go through this fucking gauntlet of, kids and your other job and the drive you got, all the bullshit you got going on at home, fucking things going wrong with the house, things going wrong with your car, things going wrong at your kids' schools. You got to find the time to get good at something and try and start a business. It is brutal, guys. Like, it is absolutely brutal. And as a the way that I try and tell people to start a small business, like the easiest way that I know how, is that you need to do the thing in your 8 to 5 that it becomes the thing that you want to do for yourself, right? Because essentially, like Elon Musk says that, people that work 60 hours a week get better at everything 50% faster than anybody else. And it's a great way to think about it, because it's easy to, not easy, but most people can do a 40-hour job. And then the idea of working 60 hours in a week really isn't that, I mean, especially today, like that's not that big of a deal, So if you can do that, you get really good at it, but not everyone can do that, So, okay, Mike, glad you're here, man. User TT5, 5R 549. By the way, I'm retired, but not by choice. Our business closed. It's owned by Palladium Equity. And oh no, and the owner lives in Beverly Hills. Yeah. So, and again, I don't want to go into this too much, but I'm not an expert in this. But I know several businesses that have been bought by private equity. And the truth is, guys, like I could make more money. I really could. And this is the thing that fucking chaps my ass to no end. I could pay my guys less, right? The least amount of years someone has worked for me is 5 years, right? My company's only 10 years old. That means that most of the people that start with me stay with me, okay? Generally, I fire people. People don't leave my company by choice. We pay our people very well, right? I could put a lot more of that money in my pocket, right? I didn't have to sell my Lotus to make fucking payroll if I'd pay people less. I'd have to mortgage my fucking home, to keep my business going when sales decline 80%, or excuse me, 75% in 1 month, right? I didn't have to do that kind of shit, but I elected to. Private equity is really good at squeezing the labor out of people, right? Squeezing wages out of people, cutting benefits, getting people to do the most for the littlest amount of money possible. And it drives me crazy, guys. Like small business is not supposed to be like this. This idea that me as a small business owner, like because I do millions in revenue, that I'm supposed to get fucking rich I'm not okay with that. Okay. Now, would I like to be wealthier? 100%. But I got to grow this bitch to $10 million a year. I need 40 employees. I need more space. I got to get this thing growing to where, yeah, maybe I could make, $500,000 a year, right? That would be awesome. But that to me kind of makes sense. What we're seeing now, I don't think what these people do when you're paying just a bunch of people that push paper around all the time, like I don't think that's necessarily good for everyone, right? And private equity, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, not just specifically private equity, but the category of finance, if I'm not mistaken, is the largest growing industry in America for about the last 10 years. Okay. So that tells you that people want to work with want to do knowledge work and want to do acquisition of assets, right? Things like that. They don't necessarily want to start a small business, right? They don't want to go through that. And but that's no bueno, man. I think we need more people that want to start small business. Okay. All right. Palladium Equity, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. The one that I know about specifically, user is Onyx, right? Onyx bought what was called Raytheon, right? Raytheon used to have a aerospace company. They made jets, right? They're most notably known for the Beechcraft V-tail Bonanza plane, right? The original company was Beech. Beech was bought by Raytheon. Raytheon then sold their I guess it was technically Beech to Onyx Corp, right? And I don't even know if those fucking people are still in business anymore, So private equity is not necessarily a good thing. Okay, the Ever Loving Outdoors. I'm struggling reaching 1,000 subscribers. Okay, the Ever Loving Outdoors. So let's see here. See how many. Okay, good. I don't have as many comments on this topic today. So okay, we're gonna go through these one at a time. Okay, the Ever Loving Outdoors. I'm assuming you're still in here. Okay. The way you get up on subscribers, dude, like I'll tell you the math, okay? And it took me 3 years to figure this out, okay? I'm gonna give you 3 years worth of information in 30 seconds, okay? So if you want to grow a YouTube channel, there's 2 things you got to do, right? You got to get your subscribers up, and you got to get your watch hours up, okay? I struggled with my watch hours. I got my subscribers in 1 video, okay? I did 1 video about making what's called we call like a waterfall coffee table. Got me over 1,000 subscribers, got me 1,000 watch hours in the first month that I had it. Then I did fuck all. I did nothing. I put out 950 videos. Okay, that's how many videos I put out. I'm finally monetized. Okay, here's what I didn't know. You want to get subscribers? All you have to do is make shorts. That's it. You can get 1,000 subscribers in a month doing shorts, because the people that love to watch shorts watch tons of them. Okay, so there's your thing. You want to get that? Do shorts. Now, if you want to get watch hours, you need to just do what I do here. It takes me an average of probably 60 hours to make a piece of furniture, edit the video, do all the thumbnails, all the things I need to do, and then put that one 30 to 60-minute video up on YouTube, okay? I get more watch hours doing one of these live streams than I have for any of my videos except the very first video that I ever did, okay? So there's something about the Google algorithm that it doesn't necessarily, it's not that like it favors people. Like my content just isn't that great. Like the stuff that I want to make videos about, the stuff that I want to talk about doesn't resonate with a lot of people, you know? So watch hours, lives did it for me, and shorts did it for me. Doing videos didn't work. I hear a lot of people say that videos work, but it just never worked for me, right? So I think that what YouTube does is YouTube pushes those videos. I think that YouTube pushes people saying, I got monetized making videos. I think they push that shit because they can get more ad revenue from it, right? You know, you want people watching these longer form videos because it's good for me, the producer, the maker of the content, but it's even better for Google, who gets to put ads the more you watch, right? So that's kind of how it works. So that's what I would do, dude. Make lots of shorts, right? And you can make a lot of shorts about the videos that you make. You know, you can do shorts on the lives that you make, but that's what worked for me, man. Like I said, lives, I got the last live. So here, so if we look at the stats right now, I don't know what you guys see, but I see 9 people as my concurrent and I see 12 likes, okay? The way this works is if I were to talk about Jeffrey Epstein, there would be 100 people in here and I would have 50 likes, okay? So what you talk about really matters, right? So people like salacious content. People like the bombastic shit that everybody's talking about. If you want to grow a channel really quick, that's all you got to do. Like do 2 weeks worth of talking about Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, and you'll have 4,000 watch hours, no problem, right? Do shorts about I don't know, just do shorts about something that's in vogue right at the moment, and you'll get your hours really quick, and then you can be monetized and focus on the stuff that you want to focus on. That was my experience. Okay, so I know a little longer than 30 seconds, but I hope that's helpful. Who's this? The ever loving outdoors. So anyway, man, let us know what you do. Let us know what your channel's about. Put it in here. Okay, let's see. Light switch is you again. Yep, light switch is me again, dude. Okay, Jack Jones, 1915. Don't eat crack. I know. I talk fast when I start doing this kind of stuff. Normally, I've got 100 people in here. I get like 2,000 comments per stream. So I'm literally just feeding through, trying to talk to everybody and banter back and forth with people about whatever our topic is. So this one's not going to be as much. Most people aren't interested in the furniture industry and small business. It's just not as popular of a topic. So, okay, set them all packing. Yes, I agree. Okay, this is Tipper Zach. Just work harder, skip sleep, and that's easy. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. A lot of people like talk about that kind of stuff. It's get the side hustle. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, work harder. There is a form of that for sure. The truth is that most people don't actually work that hard. And again, people fucking hate it when you tell them that, but it's just true. A lot of people that say they're doing all the right things, they generally have some kind of great work-life balance. They're gonna have time at home, they're gonna have time for their hobbies, they're gonna have time for work, have time to work on the house, work on the car, play their sport or their Call of Duty or whatever. And the truth is that to get really good at it, to get really good at anything, you almost have to become obsessed with it. And again, I follow David Goggins as the person that I like to. He has a speech about basically. If you want to get really good at something, people are not going to like you. They're not going to agree with what you are saying. They're not going to understand what you're talking about. And there is a version of that is right. But I'm here to tell you guys that big business, your government, a lot of these people try and keep small business down. They don't want you guys. They don't want people starting small businesses, right? Because people are going to realize that, like, oh my God, I can learn a skill, I can do something, and then oh my God, it's practical in my entire life. Like if I know how to make shit, well, guess what? I don't have to pay other people to work on my car. I don't have to pay other people to work on my house. I don't have to, when we need new kitchen cabinets or we need the floors in the bathroom go bad. We can fix all that shit because you learn a lot of other ancillary things with these kind of jobs, right? As a small business owner, if you learn about how taxes work, if you learn that you are basically bent over and fucked every day of your life for taxes, a lot more people would push back, right? When we have to write those quarterly checks, like I say it all the time. If the average citizen had to write a check to the federal government every quarter, like we do as business owners, y'all motherfuckers would revolt tomorrow. You wouldn't do it. The federal government would not be able to collect enough tax to pay its bills because everyone would be like, fuck this. I got this money. I ain't giving it to you. I ain't letting you guys waste my money. You're not sending my money to Israel. You're not sending my money to Egypt. You're not sending my money to some fucking NGO where I don't know where the money's going. You're not sending my money to some College of the Arts. You're not sending my money, to a bunch of fucking illegal people that aren't even supposed to be here. We're not sending that money to those places. People would stop tomorrow. But again, most people, they never see the money gone. All you do is you see a number in your check. Our relationship with actual money changes when you're a small business owner. Like every dollar becomes a fucking negotiation. Like it's very different, So I don't think they want people to have small businesses. Okay, Steve, excuse me, Steve Pankowski, is that it? Pankowski? Pankowski 69, your business is bill, your business is bill collections. I don't know what you're saying there, dude, but no, I don't. So there's another thing about, I talk to several people actually about running small businesses and how we do this kind of stuff. And again, I don't have a master class, guys. I'm a fucking idiot. But the trick to making money, at least in my experience as a furniture maker, one of the things you have to do is you got to get all your money up front. Like that's the trick. Like I don't do half now, half later. I don't do payment plans. I don't do a firm. I don't do none of that shit, right? And that basically gets rid of all the riffraff, right? That gets rid of all the people that are trying to reach up for what it is that you sell. There's a small business tip for you guys right away. Get paid up front. This idea of half now, half later. Again, that shit's for the birds, man. Okay, Alien Cowboy Farmer, you're back in there. I remember you. Okay. What are we talking about? Alien Cowboy Farmer, we're talking about this article I read that basically said that the furniture industry is really struggling. The furniture industry is struggling with tariffs, right? The industry is struggling, struggling with high interest rates, right? People aren't buying homes. The furniture isn't moving because the housing market isn't moving, which there's some truth to that. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that my business is thriving. And again, I own an actual furniture company. I got 10 employees, right? I do millions in revenue every year, right? But I ain't fucking rich, right? I'm just a normal. I still got to work 70 hours a week, right? I run the CNC. I do all the CAD work, right? I got to go deal with the customers, deal with the employees, make sure the business, the factory's working right. I got to fix the windows. I'm fucking leaking air compressor regular. I got to run 220 lines from a breaker box from one side of the building all the way to the other side of the building, so I can put in a new CNC router with vacuum and dust collection, all the other bullshit that it goes with. Like, I work really hard, and my business is doing just fine. And I'm tired of these talking heads talking about how they're experts when in fact they're not experts, right? It's gotten out of control. You don't see them put any small business owners on Fox News, on CNN. It's always some what they would call like an industry advocate, right, or a small business advocate. And if you ever look these people up, they never fucking worked a day in their lives. Never, not once. They got put in that position because they have an MBA, right? They got put in that position because they have the right education and the right contacts, which no shade on those people. That is definitely a job, and businesses need that stuff. But I'm getting tired of those kind of people trying to tell me what's good for my industry, right? Again, and I talk about it as someone who is not intelligent, who started it from a garage right up the road here and turned it into this big thing, okay? You think that people on Fox News are going to tell you guys how to do that? They're not. You think the people on CNN or CNBC, you think those fucking dickheads are going to tell you guys how to start a small business in your garage? They got no fucking idea. They all have communications degrees. They all went to the Wharton School of Business and they never even got in business. Like, do you guys see how this stuff kind of works? I did a video. It's on my channel right now talking about how I destroy a Fox News expert, right? Fucking destroy the guy because he does not understand small business. He's never worked a day in his life. And people say, oh, it's you don't have to have started a small business to understand small business. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you fucking do. Okay? You cannot understand small business if you've never been in it, right? You don't understand. Most these people can never understand a small business is like a fucking child. Okay? I hear people say, "Oh God," I watched an article today about a Dutch business guy who had a car dealership, right? And the guy was going in and he was taking out Lamborghinis, he was taking out Ferraris, he was taking out Maseratis, and the building's on fire, and the cops are fighting with him not to go in and grab these cars. The firemen and the police, they pepper sprayed this guy for going into his own fucking business and putting cars out there. And everyone in the comments is like, "Oh God, that's what insurance is for. That's what insurance is for. Oh, it's not worth your life." Like, no, I would give my fucking life for this business. Okay. I've worked my entire life to get to where I'm at, to where I could have a business, where I could have the knowledge to fucking do this work. Okay. I would sacrifice everything for it. Right. And I got people that need me to fucking sell furniture, need my wife to sell furniture, to make furniture. These people rely on us keeping this motherfucker going. Right. Insurance isn't going to fucking pay them. Okay. So yeah, like people don't understand what it means to do this thing that we do. And I'm tired of these people telling you tariffs are bad, right? Tariffs are terrible. Oh, the interest rates are fucking everything up. No, they don't want you guys to be able to start small businesses. They don't want people to be able to figure out that, hey, I don't have to sell a ton of shit if I can find other people to buy my stuff that I make in my garage or I make in my little shop, my little factory. It's not as difficult as people make it out to you, but they want you to think that is goddamn impossible. Your only way to get healthcare and to, get a 401k and save for retirement is to be a wagee, right? To be a W-2, and it's just, I know. Sorry, guys, the light's going down here. We're doing late talk today. All right, let's keep going through comments real quick, and I'll get back to my topic. And again, I'm going to talk about this until I'm done. Again, I appreciate everyone's hanging out. If you're in the stream, hit the like button, add discussion. This is a passionate small business owner talking about small business and exactly what's going on in the furniture industry as someone who actually owns a furniture company. Not in my fucking garage, not on YouTube. I'm not a YouTube fucking content creator talking about, oh, I know all about furniture. I actually own something. I got fucking people that work for me, and I have to make fucking payroll every other Friday, okay? To sell shit. I have to sell $120,000 worth of shit every fucking month to keep everybody busy, okay? So I need some fucking person on television trying to tell me, what small business needs. My business is doing fucking great, right? We're in a K-shaped recovery right now, guys. Guess what? The people that have all the fucking money, they got more. And guess what? We're making more of those people. And the people in the middle class, they're all going to drop off into the fucking ocean, right? My business caters to the 1%. That's why I'm doing well, okay? But they're not going to say that. That's one of the real reasons that a business like mine is doing good. The people that sell the cheap shit that's made in China, they're all fucked. Trump was supposed to double the tariff on China last January, and he didn't, because all these people that have all this extra money because they make everything in China and Vietnam, they could pay lobbyists, they could pay influencers, they could pay talking heads on television, right, with advertising. They can advertise on all these places to make sure that the tariffs aren't too prohibitive, right? That doesn't fuck up their business model, that doesn't fuck up their free cash. That's what they're doing, guys. And it is just nauseating that a dumb fuck from Oregon can figure this shit out. It's nauseating, guys. So, okay, we got Jane Shores 83. Is that a black shirt? Yes, it is a black shirt. What is this? This is a Brooks shirt. This is a running shirt. Okay, but Jane Shores, I appreciate the comment. I appreciate everyone doing the comments. Again, add the stream. I want to go through all the comments right now, and then I'm gonna stop running my mouth so much. All right, we got Bojangles. All right, Bojangles Punan, 8419. Great name, dude. I used to go to Bojangles. I lived in Savannah for a long time. Beautiful part of the country, guys. You ever want to go somewhere great in America? Go to Georgia, man. What a beautiful state. Okay, Bojangles, is your 401k in good standing? I want you to be able to retire with dignity. No, I have no 401k. Zero, right? I've got $34,000 in an Edward Jones account, okay? I've cashed in 3 401ks in my lifetime, right? Because here's the thing, guys. When the truth is that when you get a paycheck from somebody else, right? If you fall on hard times, what do? Where are you going to go get money, right? A lot of people go get money by just going back to school, right? Because everyone knows you go back to school and get a fuck ton of money, and just go to school. They'll pay for your living expenses, But again, as a small business owner, not a chance. They're not going to give you any fucking money. You kidding me? But yeah, I don't have 401k anymore. I've got, I want to say maybe it's like an IRA or something like that. But my retirement is my business, right? My retirement is if I can grow this company enough, then yeah, I could probably max out, a 401k, or I could max out, buying an ETF, right? So my parents are in wealth management, and they were their entire lives. They retired when they were 55. They did amazing, right? Fabulously successful. And they told me just to put $5,000 into an ETF every month for the next 10 years, and you'll retire a millionaire. It's literally that simple, So right now, that's my goal. I'm just going to put $5,000 in this ETF that they I think it's called IIV, sign IIV or IVV. I forget, but that's what professional wealth managers are telling me to do, right? They're saying, put your money in this thing for the next 10 years, $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year, and you're golden, So that's my plan. So yeah, but there's no guarantees when you own a business. Zero, none. So guys, I'm going to move my camera over here. See if I can get closer to the light here. Get you guys a little bit more light here. I could turn my lights on, I guess, but hold on one second, guys. Move over here. I'll get this behind me. Turn my chair around here. We'll continue on. Okay, sorry. Okay. Now we got I know I'm not a lighting expert, guys. Okay, who's in here now? We got some kind of, almost looks like a Russian name or maybe Ukrainian name. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but appreciate you being here. Illuminator 128, Zesty Vibes. Hell yeah, man. We're talking. This says crate. Okay, are you in, what are you, Greek or something? Okay, user TTPR 549. if you do what you love, it isn't work. You know, I hear people say that kind of stuff, and yes, there's a little bit of truth to that. Like I said, I'm 46 years old. I've never woken up a day in my life and thought, God damn it, I got to go to work, or no, I need to find something else to do with my life. Like it's never happened, not once. I've never woken up and thought, God damn, I don't want to go fucking make furniture today. It's never happened, right? And I may not want to go to work because I'm, whatever, I want to stay home and be lazy or something like that. But I've never thought. I've always liked making furniture. In fact, if I had my way, I would go back to just making furniture and not running the company. That's what I would do. I guess there's a great book, guys. There's a book called Boss Life, and it's one of the best books I've ever read about being a business person. And it talks about the furniture industry, which is, why it resonated with me. But the guy that wrote it, his name was Paul Downs, and he had a furniture shop in Pennsylvania, and he talks about the love of making furniture and how when you have to go from being the craftsperson to being the business person, most people can't do it. It's very difficult to. The wiring is wildly different in order to do the two things. So he fucking hates owning a business. He loves making furniture. But it's very difficult. And he just talks about all the different things that he had to do to grow this company and the real struggles that he went through. And it's wildly accurate, guys. Like it's like the stuff that we deal with. He nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. So it's a great book. It's called Boss Life by Paul Downs. Go on Amazon and get it. It's or there's the audiobook is good too because he narrates it. But I've got both. It's fucking awesome. Okay, Son's in here today. Okay, wait, where's the lamp? You got to move. Yeah, I don't no lamp today, guys. Sorry, I'm in the shop all day. I didn't do a stream today at noon because I had to run my wife around. I didn't have time, and yeah, so we're in the shop today. I'm upstairs in kind of our break room area, and it's just I'm kind of trying to get away from the noise and talk to everyone because this topic just drives me crazy. Okay, Tipper Zach, small businesses like being a professional beggar. That's awesome, man. Yes, the product is good. The price is competitive. Please, I need to keep the lights on. I can't go lower. There is an element of truth to that, Tipper Zach. That's a great comment, man. Like, again, this is one of the reasons I do these streams. Comments like that, people like this. That's awesome. That is kind of what it's like. But you can operate at a level where your customers love to pay your price. They love your product so much that if you want to charge an exorbitant premium, they're still going to buy it from you, right? That's how much they love your business. And that's one of the things that I tell people about small business is that, well, you got to work on this thing called like, know, and trust, right? And you got to move from your kind of starter market into the next tier, right? You want to move up into where you're just servicing the wealthiest people for your business. And this is just my advice. But if you want to make money with the least amount of effort, I find that that's the thing that you need to do. But you got to start off small, right? You got to start off begging, like Tipper Zach is saying. You do have to kind of start with that. Then you hone your craft, right? You learn to talk to people, right? People give me shit like, "Oh, you talk so fast on this thing, and you're just zip, zip, zip running around." Like, this is what I do. I talk. You gotta kind of be who you need to be for your customer, right? For the people that are gonna buy your product, it's really important to do that kind of stuff. And so you just get really good at talking. You get good at being a little more extroverted and less worried about what people think about you. But you think I give a fuck about anybody? Like, anybody can walk in my business. You want to pay $8,000 for one of my credenzas? Like, I'll be whoever you want me to be. Just sign on the fucking dotted line, right? Give me your credit card. Like, that's what it's like to be a small business owner. We just have to be who we have to be, and it's unfortunate. It's just kind of how it goes. Guys, I'm gonna go turn my light on here. It's just getting so dark. I'll walk over here. I'm gonna keep reading comments. I got a light switch over here. Okay, but yeah, Tipper Zach, great fucking comment, dude. Okay, hang out. User TTB549. Like I said before, if you were closer to my home, I'd work for you. Yeah, and again, I love hiring people. I love teaching people stuff. I love giving people opportunities, right? But the truth is that you got to be honest with people. A lot of people go into jobs wanting to get paid first and prove that they can do the work second. And I don't operate though. I've never operated that way. But yeah, I'm always looking for talent. I'm always looking for people that are passionate about working and doing what it is that we do here. Okay. Great comment. I just love that. I'm gonna tell my wife that was small business like be a professional baker. That's so good. I need to put that on a t-shirt, man. Okay. Tim LXX05Y. Tim's in here. Good to see you, dude. Glad you're here. Okay, if I lived in St. Louis, I'd volunteer for you. Thanks, man. Okay, we're in St. Louis. This is Alfie Zaza. Okay, so if you guys ever get in St. Louis, so we got this. It's like I don't know. It's like a entertainment slash like college district called the Del Mar Loop. So we're just outside of the Del Mar Loop, and it would be like kind of like North St. Louis, I guess, something like that. But yeah, we're right there. Again, there's Planet Pro. We're well-known business, and we've been here for a long time. But we got a cool business. If you ever here, come say hi. Like I said, tell me you follow me on YouTube, or you like to, you hate my business, or you love my business, whatever. I'm happy to show people what it is that we do here. I'm very open about it. Like I said, I got a real company. I'm not some fucking YouTuber that makes money for clicks and subscribers and content and trying to get fucking Ford to come sponsor my woodworking channel. Like I'm just not doing that shit. Okay. Okay. This is Lizard King 24/7. My name is Paul and I have Downs. Yeah. Paul Downs is a good dude, man. Okay. Let's see. Working Edwin Peppers, Dolnix, Nova, and STF. I don't know what any of that stuff is, to be quite honest with you. This is Alfie Zaza, but like I said, you're ever here, man, swing and stop by. I love showing people what it is that we do. We don't really have like a showroom per se. Like our business, we have kind of a half-assed kind of showroom, but it's in our factory, right? So things get dusty. It's very hard to keep clean, but we do the best that we can. We're looking at expanding into Webster Grove and actually doing a retail location. We're talking about maybe partnering with the design studio, so we might do something like that. But it is kind of tough. All right, this is Kashif Malik. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of your name. I don't know what the hell that is. Okay, you're in the Netherlands, right? All right. Netherlands, or actually mean Netherlands. So good, glad you're here. Got people from all over the world. I love it. Okay, good-hearted. Let's see. Never lived life. Okay, not sure exactly what you're saying there, dude. Okay. It's never, see, I've never called in sick, staying home doesn't pay the bills. Yeah, well, and I've always said that, like it's hard to get in trouble and it's hard to be broke when you work all the time. Like that's how it's always been my experience. I know there's a lot of people that'll say that they work all the time, they're always broke, and the cost of living is through the roof and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that sucks. I get it. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. If you're always busy, you're always working on something. It's hard to get in trouble, and it's hard to not have money if you work a ton. And it's that's just kind of how I've always seen it. So user, I like your comment there. Yeah, it's hard to make money at home. Like I said, we get a lot of people. I think that a lot of people want to work from home nowadays, and a lot of people want to make mailbox money. They want to be influencers. They want to do anything other than the hard thing. And I personally blame that on academia, but I don't know. I don't know what do you guys think. So anyway, I made it through my comments. I want to give you guys a few more things about this story that I was reading, and I want to talk to you guys about when these guys complain about the furniture industry. There are a lot of markets within the furniture industry, right? And I have to admit that my market is damn near the top. Like we are way up there as far as brand cachet, price, and so on and so forth. So I think that my business is able to operate because of the fact that we operate in that space. But that doesn't mean that other businesses, other furniture companies don't operate in that space as well. The problem is that they try and cater to a lot more industries, and that becomes very difficult. So I do want to say that up front. The other thing is I want to go over mortgage rates, right? To give you guys some data here. I printed this off because I thought it was very telling. I printed off the last 10 years of home sales, right? And I printed off the last 10 years of mortgage rates. And again, I did talk about this well over a year ago. The problem isn't tariffs, right? If you got a furniture business today and you make all your shit overseas, tariffs suck. There's no doubt about it. But you make such high margin by having all your shit made in the third world that you can absorb the tariffs just fine, right? The problem for the furniture industry is the housing market. Okay, so listen to this, guys. So 2015, right? I wanted to go back a little bit before COVID so that everyone could see what the market was like prior to COVID, because COVID was an anomaly for everybody. Anybody that was working in or around the housing market saw wild sales, right? Wild demand. And again, the demand that we saw during COVID snatched future demand in a way that we've never seen before, okay? So it's important that people understand that. All right, so in 2015, house sales were 5.26 million units, right? So we moved 5.2 million homes, right? The mortgage rate was 3.85%, okay? So we're moving a lot of houses. People were able to, not only were people able to buy new homes, right? But it was very easy to move from home to home to home, right? So if you had a job here in St. Louis, right, you got a better opportunity in North Carolina, with a 3.85% mortgage rate. Again, people were hypermobile, right? So you could sell your home, right, because there was demand. you could then sell your home quickly, move to North Carolina, take another job, and your interest rate was going to be fine. Okay. Today, you can't do that, right? So if you got a job opportunity in North Carolina, you want to sell your home today, you have, let's just say you got one of these average rates, which was in the threes for a lot of people for a long time. Now you'd be paying upwards of 6 to 7%, for essentially the same house, because most people don't want to downgrade, right? So your expenses would essentially double. Your mortgage would essentially double. So that's one of the things really fucking over the home market right now. But all right, so 2015, 5.2 million. The mortgage rate was 3.85%. 2016, we moved 4.4 million homes. The interest rate went down to 3.6%. So there's you already see, we're starting to see this correlation between the lower that rate goes, the more transactions go up, right? Which is fantastic for furniture. Like it's the best possible case scenario. Okay. So next year, we saw 5.51 million units move. The mortgage rate went up to 3.99%. Okay. The following year, there was 5.3 million homes sold. Rates went up to 4.5%. All right. So again, the rate goes up. You see the transactions slow down just a little bit. Okay. So if I fast forward to 2020, when COVID started, 2020, there was 5.64 million homes sold. Right. And we remember COVID hit, I believe it was March or April. Right. So it hit pretty early on and everything just stopped. Everyone's business died. Right. For essentially 2 weeks. Right. We're trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So it picked up, right? As soon as we figured out what this COVID thing was, like everybody decided they were going to have to move, right? So 5.6 million homes, the rate was 3.1%. Okay. Wildly low. Okay. But it gets lower. So listen to this. 2021, people are starting to move again. All right. We're moving 6.1 million homes moved in a pandemic. Okay. And again, I've talked about like COVID's on blue in the face. And if people don't like when you talk about COVID, they're very, people are very strong opinions about that particular part of time. But again, if there was a fucking pandemic and it was, it was something that was going to be devastating to humanity and we needed to lock everything down, how come we sold more homes then than we'd sold in the last 30 years, right? Why was everyone so mobile? Why were all the contractors able to work? Why were we able to build all the homes, right? Apparently, shit was moving just fine, okay? So we sold more houses than ever. In 2021, we sold 6.1 million homes. The interest rates went down to 2.96%, the lowest they've ever been. Okay, it's the lowest we've ever seen it. 2022, rates shot up. Get this, rates essentially doubled. Right, we went to 5.34%. Okay, we sold 1 million less homes that year. Right, so home sales dropped 20% in 1 year. Right, so and then it continues to trend down to what we're seeing today. Today, we're moving 3.9 million homes, right? So housing has almost collapsed in half since the peak of COVID. And then rates, the average so far this year has been 6.0%. Okay. So the housing market has been slowing down since COVID. And that's what's been hurting housing, or what's been hurting the furniture industry. And it's been hurting every industry. The housing market is the single largest industry in America that employs the most people. And the people that it employs make really good wages, okay? So people need to kind of understand that the issues in the furniture industry have a lot more to do with the housing market, right? Which is why I'm always advocating for the housing market to move. And I did a video on what I think would move the housing market, but it's never going to happen, right? And I'm not going to go over it because fucking nobody wants to hear it. It gets no traction. But the point is that you could move the housing market a little bit faster than we're doing it today. So I want people to understand that tariffs are not the enemy of the furniture industry, right? Tariffs, again, add cost. But when you are making it for, again, how many times have I told you guys? The $250 an hour you're paying somebody in China and the $32.50 an hour you should be paying an American to do that same job, right? That $30 is what the company gets to keep to market, to make mistakes, to try new things, right? Things like R&D, to pay for retail locations, these really nice places that Restoration Hardware has in all the malls, and to buy private jets, to market your brand, to make it look like you're the most amazing business owner in the world, right? You employ no craftspeople, you have no manufacturing facilities, and you create this industry or this illusion that your brand is amazing, right? But it's hidden. The thing that makes your whole business model possible is the $250 you're paying the guy in China and the $175 you're paying the guy in Vietnam. Okay, That is what is fucking terrifying the furniture industry today. If Trump were to bring tariffs in here, if Trump were to bring tariffs in at 100%, these businesses would still find a way to make money, but they would, their stock market, their stock value would crash. Their investors would flee because their business model would no longer be profitable, right? So that's the thing they need to be terrified. That's why tariffs aren't happening, but it's the housing market that is really fucking over the furniture industry right now. I hope that's clear to everyone. I hope I've kind of made sense of this. I wanted to talk about it. This is actually kind of a wait for like me to vent about the situation. So anyway, let's keep going through our comments here and keep this thing moving along here. Okay, oops, sorry guys, get some of them out of here. Okay. Who do we got in here now? So this is, let's see, user, I read your comment, you never gotten sick. So we got, Derek Overman's back in here, 8425, I live in Florida. Things have went crazy since 2021. Yeah, and again, this is what I'm trying to fucking tell everyone. Again, when these experts try and tell you guys, they are fear mongering for big business. That's it. It's all fear mongering for big business. It's if you know how to run a small business and you understand cash flow, right? You understand that you have to keep your expenses low, you have to keep your overhead low, and you have to sell a really quality, valuable what's the word I'm looking for? Highly demanded product, right? You have to paint this picture of a great fucking company and people will flock to your business. People in America love small business. They love the idea of buying something from somebody that they know, right? Somebody that they like, know, and trust. Google that shit. It's one of the most important things you know about running a small business. Okay. All right, Derek Overland, you said you're in Florida. What part of Florida are you in? What's your business? Let me know. I think you've told me before. I don't remember, but Derek's been here a couple of times. Derek, I really appreciate being here. You guys have been in the stream. Hit the like button. Let's see if we can get this thing up to 20 likes. I'm probably going to give you guys another 10 minutes of this content. I did want to kind of read this article a little bit more. I don't know that I'm going to get there because it just fucking drives me so crazy. These fucking experts that they bring in here, like what as I've been doing this longer and longer, and I get kind of pissed off at these talking heads talk about my industry. What I do is anytime they mention the expert in an article or on television, I immediately go Google who this person is. And then I just go look at their background, right? And what you find out, you just go to their LinkedIn and you'll find out that all of them are just hyper educated people. That's it. Like they've never started a small business in their life. They have no fucking idea what it takes to make this thing happen. And I'm almost undefeated on this thing, guys. Like I'm almost undefeated, right? It's sad that it's come down to this, if I'm being completely honest. Okay. This is Brain Dead Diver, man. Great name. Let's see. Who can buy homes? It's a zombie industry. So guess what? Brain Dead Diver. My clients buy homes all the time. My clients have 6, 7 homes, right? I send furniture. So I used to send furniture to New York all the time. Well, guess what, guys? The fucking people that live in New York, the ones that have all the money, they left. Where do you guys think I send furniture now? It's not fucking New York anymore. I still send it to Connecticut. I still send it to Massachusetts. I still send it to Vermont, right? I'm still sending tons of shit out to Martha's Vineyard and the Hamptons. But guess where most of the people in New York area are going? Like, I don't send things to Park Avenue anymore. I'm not sending things down into, Manhattan all the time. It's all going to Florida, guys. Florida and Texas. And, shit's moving. We got this is Derek Overman 8425 in here, right? He's in Florida right now. Like he's telling you guys, it's been fucking slammed since 2021 because people got the fuck out of these places that locked everybody down. They're like, fuck this, man. I'm not living this way. And they moved. And again, the most homes we've ever sold in the history of this country was during a pandemic. You fucking tell me how that works. Tell me how that works. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. All right, Brain Dead Diver. Yeah, he said, who could buy homes in the zombie industry? Yeah, it's tough, man. And I feel bad for people today. And again, I advocate for young people, right? I advocate for people like me, okay? 21 years old, I bought my first home. It was $99,000. I bought it making $15 an hour, okay? So it pisses me off today that people that do what I do, which is work with their hands, can't make enough fucking money to buy a home. And I tell people that when you learn to work with your hands, right, you don't have to buy a new home. You don't have to pay the average $428,000 a year that it takes to buy a new home. You can buy a piece of shit, what would now probably be $150,000 to $200,000 home, right? And you can fix it up. Get some sweat equity because you know how to do some shit, right? But the person that went to college, that does data analysis, he has no fucking idea how to work on a home. I feel bad for that guy. And this is why I tell people, like, we've got to get people out of these fucking colleges and we got to get them doing real shit because the demand is coming, guys. Like, I think Trump's going to end up raising tariffs. I really do. And I know the Supreme Court is getting ready to probably shut him down, but I think he's going to do something to bring this work back because Americans want to do this work. Like, I hear more and more people talking about how they want to get into doing what it is that I do, right? How they want to get into the construction industry. You know, I mean, my own son wants to be a welder. His dad's fucking successful furniture maker, business owner, doesn't fucking want to do anything with what I do. He wants to be a welder, which is fine. My dad was a welder. Like, more and more people are getting in to do these trades, and they need to be able to afford homes. Like, it's wildly important. If we don't unfuck this home situation, a lot of young people are going to lose hope. They're going to become very nihilistic, and we're going to end up with a generation of people that don't want to have any kids, right? Like everyone loves fucking, but no one wants to have kids because it's too expensive, right? So we're going to end up with a country where everyone just bangs for fun, and there's no kids. You know, how many times have I told you guys at this point, like, the idea that my own kids don't want to do what it is that I do, right? Even though we fucking pay for everything, is wildly depressing to me. Wildly depressing. Okay? I think we need more people starting small businesses. We need our government to support these small businesses, to support making shit in America so that we can pass these things down to our kids. So generationally, more people can do what it is that I do, which is why I advocate for this. I know not everybody wants to do this work, but I think it's wildly important that we have parents that can teach their kids things, pass that down to their kids, and then their kids can pass it down to their kids, and that we leave stuff for each other, right? It can't just be that you go to school, you learn about how to make the best fucking EBITDA, you know, for the company that you work for. You don't even fucking own this company by sending everything to the third world, right? The fastest way to make your balance sheet look good is get rid of your fucking labor. Like, you guys know why all these businesses are bringing in AI? It's to get rid of labor. Like, the truth is, like, as a business owner, like, all you fucking people, you're all a liability to me. You know, if I want to really go like cold, like NBA, like, you're all a fucking liability. You want too much fucking money. You piss and moan about everything. You fucking, all you care about is OSHA, the EPA, ergonomics. You know, that's all you guys fucking care about. What's the break room look like? Like, why the fuck would I want to hire you people? You're all a fucking liability. I got to keep tons of general liability insurance. I got to make sure that, you know, I got insurance in case you guys get injured. You know, I got to have workman's comp. I got to have fucking everything. I have to pay your guys' taxes. I got to fucking write paychecks. I can keep an accountant on staff to fucking pay you guys and make sure that I'm compliant with all the tax laws. Like, why the fuck would I hire any of you motherfuckers? You know, like, that's how people in college, right, MBAs, look at you guys. And it's fucking disgusting. It is disgusting, guys. Any opportunity they get, they're going to get rid of you, whether it's AI, sending your job to the third world, or bring the third world in here to do your job because they won't complain like you do. Okay? That's as black pill as it gets, guys. You know, that's as black pill as it gets. I don't know what other way to tell you. That is how your boss thinks about you guys, right? As a small business owner that has to hire and fire people, like, I'd fucking fire all you people. If it were up to me, I'd fire fucking, I have a bunch of robots in here, make all this fucking furniture, deliver all my furniture, and I just rake in the cash, drive my fucking McLaren around and just ball out of control, you know? But I got a heart, right? I came from fucking nothing, and I want people to do what it is that I do, you know? And the truth is, you got to work really hard. You know, you got to lose hearing in an ear, you know, you got to lose a little bit of a sense of smell, you know, you got to be around dangerous equipment. You got to listen to fucking employees cry on your shoulder. You got to fucking listen to people, you know, tell you they're fucking in jail. You got to go bail them out. You got to train people how to do shit that they don't know how to do. You got to watch people fuck up. You got to help people fix their cars. You know, you got to do so much shit for employees. And most businesses don't fucking want to do it. They don't want anything to fucking do with you people. You know, it's so sad. And yeah, again, as someone who, like, all I want to do is employ more people and teach people to do what it is that I did. I don't know how we get more businesses to do that when it's so easy to outsource you motherfuckers. It's so easy, you know. And our government incentivizes us on the tax side. I do not get a tax break for employing an American, right? If I hire some fucking, you know, black guy who's on welfare down the street, right, to come in and I want to teach him how to make furniture. Maybe I want to teach him to sand. I don't get a special tax break for that fucking guy. I get the same tax breaks if I hire Chang in China for $2.50 an hour as I do to hire, you know, Darnell down the street for $20 an hour. You know, so it's the system's fucked up, guys. Like, it is wildly fucked up, and it's ran by all the people that I'm talking about. The people that are the experts on television, telling you guys what small business needs, what's wrong with the furniture industry. These are the same fucking people that would sell you guys out in a heartbeat to save, you know, $2 an hour over there in China, right? And these same people, these experts that come on and talk about, oh, we got to deregulate. These motherfuckers are advocating for regulations behind your back because they don't want you to start a small business in your garage that could later compete with them later on, right? But they get to send all their work to the third world where there's no OSHA, there's no EPA, there's no labor regulations, there's no fucking retirement, no fucking 401k. There's none of that shit. They don't fucking need you at all. And they rake in that fucking cash and they buy Congress people and they give it to shareholders and they buy back stock. And it's, do you guys see that I'm passionate about this issue? I hope this comes off, guys. Like, I hope you guys understand that, like, I'm the real deal. I'm not some poser motherfucker on YouTube talking about small businesses amazing. You guys need to do what I do. Buy my course. Look, I got a master class. I'll teach you all about how to make furniture. Ha ha ha. $9.95. Fucking people, man. Like, people are, this world's in rough shape, guys. It's in rough shape. So I'm so sorry, guys. I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. Let's go through comments. Okay. All right, where are we at here? Where are we at? Okay, I was at Derek. I got Brain Diver. I was Brain Dead Diver. You're the one that got me worked up. Okay, this is Gary Gribley, or excuse me, Greg Gribley. Sorry. Oh, anybody can afford homes now with this 50-year mortgage. Yeah, I know that motherfucker. Like, Trump is such a snake. Man, I voted for that guy twice, and I really thought that he was our best chance at least bringing back the rule of law and at least bringing back Trump is a tariff guy, but he's bitched out twice now on tariffs. When he passed those tariffs on April 1st of last year, everybody lost their motherfucking minds. Stock market crashed, right? Everyone, what are we going to do? We're going to have to make stuff in America? Oh, I can't do that. Oh, the cost of my electronics are going to go up. Oh, t-shirts might be $25 instead of $7.50 on fucking Temu. Like, everybody lost their fucking minds because they were terrified of the thought that they would actually have to go work like a real fucking job. They might have to actually hire Americans. They might actually have to deal with the lower class in society. Like, oh my God, I got to go hire a black guy who doesn't have a college degree. Oh, I got to hire a black guy who might have a face tattoo. What the fuck? These people are fucking terrified. Their fucking business models will all fall apart. That Gary Friedman, whatever the fuck that guy's name is for Restoration Hardware, his stock was literally cut in half in one fucking day. Oh my God, I might actually have to hire real craftspeople. I can't do that. How am I supposed to buy private jets and give my fucking stockholders dividends every quarter if I can't fucking hire Chang over in Vietnam? What the fuck am I supposed to do? They were terrified, guys. The investor class, the class of people, and to be quite honest, these are who I sell furniture to. These fucking people, they could not stomach the idea of having to actually hire an American. No way. No way. So, anyway, sorry. Okay, yeah, it's fucking Trump and his stupid 50-year mortgages. Like, that motherfucker. Ugh, he makes me so mad. People lose money, but the banks will make. But yeah, again, and this is another thing. Like, when I hear people talk about, oh, these 50-year mortgages will be great. So, what do you guys think? What interest rate does a bank make more money on? Right, a 15-year interest rate or a 30-year interest rate? Right. When that number on the 15 is 5.5% and the number on the 30-year is 6%, right? What do you think the number on a 50-year is going to be? It's going to be more like 7%, right? It's probably going to be 1% above the prime for 30, right? And then guess what? The banks just make more fucking money. Banks love the idea of a 50-year mortgage. I love it. Or what's the other fucking retarded idea Trump has? He's got this idea that, Bill Pulte, that fucking asshole, he's the guy that, isn't he over HUD or something like that? But this fucking douchebag, he literally owns a housing company, right? My wife worked in real estate for a while. And what these guys do is what they're doing right now is they're making 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes with a tiny ass 1-car garage. They're selling for $400,000, right? So their latest idea, right? The people that build homes, their latest idea is that we'll rent homes to people so that they can take a portion of that rent you pay every month, and that will become the down payment on your 30-year or maybe your 50-year mortgage, right? So they'll fuck you, right? Because the truth is they're not going to let you live there rent free. You're going to have to pay them some profit, and then they'll carve off a little tiny bit for your down payment, right? And then maybe you can get that 30 or 50-year mortgage. And if you're lucky, that 30-year mortgage won't be fucking 7% because your government is just printing money hand over fist, right? And the 10-year's fucking going through the roof. Maybe you'll be lucky. But if it does, you always got the 50-year mortgage, right? You get that 50-year mortgage, and you'll never pay off your home, right? And the other thing is these fucking cocksuckers. The average age for someone that wants to buy a home now is 41 fucking years old. You think I want to have kids if I can't get into a fucking home till I'm 41 years old? You wonder why people aren't having kids today? Like, why? Who would fucking want to at this point? Who would want to? But you want to try and raise kids in a fucking apartment? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that was never even a thought in my lifetime. Like, you think I'm advocating for that? Like, fuck no, I'm not advocating for that. That's disgusting. And Trump has no desire to lower the cost of homes by making more homes. I mean, basic supply and demand, like, dynamics. The guy he cannot wrap his mind around the idea of incentivizing home builders, right? You guys know that you used to be able to get homes on a rail car, right? Sears and Roebuck had houses that they were made in Chicago, right? They put them on a rail car and they sent them all over America, and people bought those homes. And the reason it collapsed wasn't because it wasn't successful. It was wildly successful. The problem was that people defaulted on the loans they had. So Sears was like, oh fuck, we spent all this money building these homes, these kit homes, right? Sending them out all over America, which were financed, and the people didn't pay them back. So they're like, fuck this, we're not making these homes anymore. And that's why it collapsed, you know. So read up on that one. A lot of people don't know that. But I think we should bring something like that back. Get more people building homes. God damn, like I grew up in a double wide trailer, right? Make more fucking trailers available. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's not ideal, you know, but I didn't feel the best about it when I was growing up. It basically meant you were poor, you know. But guess what? I'll take a fucking trailer over an apartment any day of the week, because an apartment, you ain't gonna make shit in an apartment. At least with the fucking trailer, maybe you got a little bit of land, maybe you got a little bit of space, maybe you can do something. You know, apartment is death. Like, apartments for people that want to own fucking dogs and work in tech and, you know, just literally have everything brought to them. Fucking DoorDash, like fucking bitches. Okay. Boy, great comment, Greg Gimble. You guys got me worked up. Again, appreciate you guys put your comments in here. We're going to go through them all. And I appreciate you guys hitting the like button, adding this discussion. I'm very passionate about small business. I'm very passionate about other people having the opportunity to start small businesses. It's wildly important to me. And it's literally what I do now. Okay, let's see. This is a Beck Starbish. Is that what you're going for? Beck Starbish? If it would, it is worldwide. This problem's so sad. Is it? It wouldn't surprise me if it is. Yeah, I think that I think every economy is dealing with the same thing, I would imagine. We could, again, our government could fix a lot of this stuff, guys. I mean, we really could. If we change the way that again, you can still support capitalism and do some things to help your people, right? Just because you help your people in a way that really helps them doesn't make you socialist, doesn't make you communist. Okay, again, small business owner, wildly capitalistic. I hate welfare. I hate giving fucking, you know, dumb shits money. I fucking hate it. But I do support giving people money that helps them to help themselves, right? What's that saying? Give a guy a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach a guy to fish, you'll feed him for life. Again, that's kind of how I look at everything. Okay, let's see. User TTB 500. Looks are skin deep. Yeah, 100%, man. Okay, Longstrad von Hugendong. Great name, man. See, and you can't afford to do that. Okay, again, I'm not sure you're saying that about, but okay, Jack Fulton, or Fullerton, excuse me, Jack Fullerton, 5762. Oh, you're tough. Cuss that little guy means hard. Yeah, I know. Again, dude, like, again, I love those kind of people that are like, oh my God, you know, you use profanity. Oh my God, like, I don't have to hear that in my office. Like, yeah, you're fucking HR directors. Again, HR is one of the worst things that's happened to this country. Okay, thanks a lot, colleges. Thanks, fucking DEI. Thanks to all you fucking Karen HR people, just completely fucked up the workplace for guys. You made it so great for us. You know, we tell dirty jokes. I loved going to all your guys' implicit bias training. I had to be fucking told I'm a racist all day long, you know, because I'm white. Like, fuck you people, right? And then I love the sexual harassment training I had to go to every year, right? We have to sign off on all this shit, right? Again, never fucking sexually harassed anyone in my entire life. My industry is 99% men, and you fucking people make me go to sexual harassment training. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Again, businesses can only afford to do this shit when they make excess capital by making all the shit in the third world, right? Then you got money for, you can hire all kinds of fucking, you know, gay, lesbian bitches that you want. Again, make sure you tell all the guys how to act in the workplace, right? When you got 2 or 3 women in, that's fucking awesome. Like, thanks a lot, guys. Love HR. Okay, hard work never ends. No taxation without representation. This is Soul Extract 640. Glad you're here, dude. Thanks for being in the comments. Hard work never ends. No taxation without representation. Yeah, and again, I talk about this a lot in my streams. Yeah, isn't it interesting how? And again, I'm a pro tax revolt guy. But isn't it interesting how the Department of Defense hasn't passed an audit right? For I think it's 7, 8 years at this point. 7, 8 years at this point, right? And they want bigger budgets, right? The budget for the Defense Department goes up. I mean, almost every year. It might be a year where it doesn't go up; it just kind of stays. But if you tried to not pay your taxes for 8 years, or you refused an IRS audit for 8 years in a row, what would happen to you? Okay. I have to keep, I literally keep a tax accountant on staff, right? Just to be able to make sure that we're in compliance because we sell in every state in America, right? There's this thing called tax nexuses, and we have to make sure that we're compliant with all these things. Otherwise, the states will come after my company, right? So we have to be up on that stuff all the time. We keep a lawyer on staff, to help. And not, I shouldn't say we keep them on staff is not the correct term. We keep them on retainer, right? Because in the event that we get sued, in the event that the OSHA, EPA, city, state, federal, any of these agencies were to come after us, we have quick access to an attorney that knows our business and knows what we do, right? But what would happen to you guys if you didn't pay your taxes or you refuse an audit, right? They'd come after you. They would, first thing they'd do, if you are lucky enough to own a home, they put a lien on your home, right? If you didn't own a home, they put a lien on your car, and here's the thing, you might say, oh yeah, well the bank owns it. Guess what? IRS comes before the bank. IRS can put liens on all your shit, which supersedes all of these companies, right? Federal government comes before everything, guys. If that didn't work, they will take you to court. They will actually get a court order to take money out of your paycheck from your employer if they can't, or your employer. If they can't get it out of your employer, they will take that out of your bank account. Okay, the IRS is ruthless, right? There's a video on X that I saw today of a woman who's also a small business owner talking about how the IRS came after her for $52. Right? And as small business owners, we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes every year. And the fact that you, as the average citizen, your own fucking government won't audit itself, right? You guys remember that Doge thing? When Doge started looking into Social Security, those fucking people bitched and moaned and cried and whined and fucking just threw the craziest fit, over people looking in the tax system, right? Looking into where tax dollars are going, who's getting payment, who's not getting payment, right? What sources of revenue are funneling into the government, where the government money is going, like things like NGOs, right? They threw a fit. Like, people don't want to know. But again, you cannot do it. Me as a business owner, I can't do it. I have to make sure I record every fucking transaction, send it to my accountant so that he can make sure that all my files are in order every year, right? It's wildly important to own a business. But again, federal government knows how to do that shit. And it's like, well, we lost a mill here, a mill there. Who's counting, right? What's a couple $1 billion? When you're spending $7.4 trillion a year. So yeah, there's no representation, right? We don't have representation today, right? The Secretary of Commerce that we have right now, the guy's a fucking liar, right? Goes on live television talking about Jeffrey Epstein. He's like, oh, I met the guy once and I never talked to him ever again. Well, those Epstein files dropped out. Come to find out, those guys talk lots of times, right? They actually. He actually was in business with Jeffrey Epstein. Had a fucking business with Jeffrey Epstein, right? And he did this after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted as a child trafficker. Okay, so clearly this guy didn't give a fuck, but now he's Commerce Secretary. I find that to be kind of interesting, right? Your president, loves to associate with nasty fucking people. Bought Miss Universe. Google that one. Trump owned Miss Universe, right? Which also Miss Teen USA. One of the ways that Jeffrey Epstein got a lot of his little girls for trafficking purposes was being around the fashion and modeling industry. I find that all to be kind of interesting, but not a lot of people talking about it. So yeah, we don't have representation today, which is pretty much why I support a tax revolt. Trump's trying to send half of our fucking Navy over to the Middle East. Again, when we voted for Trump, he said he's going to end all that shit, right? And what he's basically saying is, yeah, I'm going to end it by essentially threatening to destroy any country that doesn't want to do what I want to do, which I wildly disagree with. Okay. So again, our government doesn't represent the average taxpayer. I don't think anybody here today thinks that shit's good, but that's what that guy's going to do, because the people that control Trump, the people that are in Trump's orbit, are in another country, which just happens to be really close to Iran, which again, I didn't vote for that, so I don't think we have the representation that we think we have, so. But anyway, that's yeah. Sorry, dude. I use profanity. I can't help it. Okay. No taxation without representation. Yep. Okay. Pat Lucio's back in here. 8612. Greetings. Good to see you. Uplifting. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm uplifting. Sometimes I'm just like wildly depressing. It can be depressing. Okay. You're a good brother. Okay. Well, again, I don't know if I'm a good brother. My sister thinks I'm all right, man. I'm trying to be. Okay. This is a Cirrus Boom Boom 16 user TD. Excuse me. Rises, I guess. 16, boom, boom. Okay, not sure what's going on there, but cool, man. Again, I appreciate everyone being here tonight. If you're in the stream, you didn't hit the like button, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I put out this content. I try and do a talk once a day about small business, about making furniture. Maybe we talk current events. I do like talking about politics because I'm a real person. And this is what we do on this channel. So, all right, user TTPR 549. As they say, you gotta be cruel to be kind. That's a great song. What was that? In Excess? I don't remember who that was. Okay, Soul Extract 640. I voted for Trump too. At least he didn't get fucked by the corporate Democrats. Well, and again, this is what I was going to talk about today. I started to talk. I was going to do my talk at noon today, and I canceled the talk. Here's the thing, guys. And again, as a small business owner, it doesn't fucking matter who's in government, guys. Like at the end of the day, I mean, if we really want to be honest, right? So we were paying tax rate A, right, when Biden was in office. Okay, tax rate. Okay, if Kamala would have been if Kamala would have gotten elected, maybe we would have paid 2 or 3% more in taxes, right? Or if Trump got in, maybe we're going to pay less, 2 or 3% less in taxes. Okay. When the next person comes in office, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it just keeps doing this, right? You guys are constantly paying about 20% federal taxes, right? You're paying 15% in income. You're paying 7.5% in Social Security and Medicare, right? That's how it works. You guys don't get jack shit. You just pay a little less or a little bit more, and that's how it goes. Fucking, and that's how it works in everything in government. Either way, you're paying fucking taxes. Your taxes will never go down in a substantial way. Everyone in America should be paying 10% federal tax. That's it. No more. That covers your military. That covers your justices. That covers maybe the FBI if you guys believe in that shit, right? We don't need fucking anything else, right? Maybe we can do the highways, right? Thank God we had fucking Ike make the interstate highway system, but we just shouldn't have to pay this much in taxes, right? Let the states raise their taxes a little bit. I'm fine with that, but God damn it. You got to get the money out of the federal government, guys. Like it is crushing everybody. And the people that have all the power they're not the elected people. They're the people that donate to the elected people, guys. It's the people in places like fucking Israel and over there in Europe. Like they've got a lot more control in this country than I think we realize, So I don't think it matters who we vote for, man. Like I mean, think about it. Like, okay, so Kamala gets elected, right? Let's say Kamala got elected instead of Trump, right? You'd still have people pouring over the border, right? Again, Trump's not kidding anybody out. Have you guys noticed that? Like, Trump's going to give these people amnesty, which again, I don't give a fuck. You want to give people amnesty? Great. Just follow the law. Which government, the people in government are never going to pass another amnesty thing, and they're never going to, change our immigration laws. They're just not going to do it. They're going to do absolutely nothing. So if Kamala got in right now, nothing would change. You'd still have tons of people in here. Yeah, granted, you probably have more in here, but again, nothing would change. Trump's not changing anything. Trump was supposed to be the change, and he's not doing it. So I don't think it really matters who you guys vote for. I really don't. And then like Trump campaigned on ending a lot of these wars. Okay, do you see the Russia-Ukraine conflict ending? No. You certainly aren't hearing about it. You guys notice that? Like now that Trump's in office, you never even hear about it, right? That's not ended. The Gaza-Israel conflict. The only reason that conflict has kind of winded down is because there's nothing left, right? Israel won. So again, if Kamala was elected, none of that shit would have changed. You think she was going to go end and we may have sent them more money than Trump did, but nothing really changes, guys. And this is what's so frustrating. Like it doesn't really matter who you guys vote for. It's wildly frustrating. Okay. Let's see. Pat Lucio 8612. A lot of podcasters are making good money hating Trump. He's a cash cow. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. People like the media and everyone loves hating on Trump. It's wildly popular. When I do streams, putting Trump's picture on there and mentioning Epstein, I'll get like one of my streams got 20,000 views and like 250 watch hours for an hour and a half's worth of talking. Like people love this shit. People love anything Trump, Epstein, like that's like the hot thing right now. And I'm sure tomorrow it's going to be JD Vance or whatever. Like it's too much tribalism, guys. I'm being completely honest. Like these fucking people on X, like I detest these people like Benny Johnson and Gunther Eagleman and Alex Jones. Like these guys are they've got Trump's dick so far down their throats. Like I don't know how they how they operate. They should all have suffocated at this point because Trump can do no wrong. They don't talk about the tax situation. They don't talk about the DOD. They don't talk about the Ukraine conflict. They don't talk about the whole Israel thing. Like these people, they only talk about very specific things, and it's it's not even fun anymore. I don't even go on X that much anymore. It's just not. It's wild, guys. Okay, exactly, Pat. It's pathetic. So, all right, to get to Young Fresh in here. Young Fresh Society. Young Fresh, good to see you, man. Young Fresh 9780, glad you're here. Soul Extract 640. I support the American workers. Hell yeah, man, I do too. Let's see. Young Fresh 3980 30. You pay more. 30. Yes, of course I pay more. What the fuck? Who's gonna live on $30 an hour? Okay. And again, depends on what you do, right? Again, like people have no experience. Like you're literally, you're just fucking labor. Yeah, we're probably gonna start you out at like 18, 20 bucks an hour. You prove you can do something, then we'll raise your wage up. Like I got a guy who started working for me for 10 bucks an hour. He's worked for me for 4 years. He makes $35 an hour now. like we move wages up fast. I pay people based on what you can do for me, right? If you can do more for me, right? You help me push more product, I'm going to pay you more money. That's how it's supposed to be. And again, because I have a small business and a factory, all my guys are important, right? So if we're moving a shit ton of product, they know we're moving a shit ton of product, right? If we're not moving any product, guess what? They know we're not moving any product. I don't got a problem with people coming and say, hey, I need money, and they see we're not fucking moving anything. They know to shut the fuck up, right? When times are good, like, start passing out the money, man. Start giving out the bonuses. I gave bonuses out this year for Christmas because we had a good year. So this is how small business is supposed to work. And you guys, like, how many times have I told you guys, like, I was supposed to get a fucking McLaren. I don't have my McLaren now, right? I sold my Lotus because business was shit. Decided I was going to buy myself a McLaren, right? And I can't buy a fucking McLaren. Like, God damn it, man. I haven't made enough money. All my guys got fucking raises. I gave out bonuses last year. I could have bought a goddamn McLaren had I not given that money away. Okay? But that's not how small business is supposed to work, right? You take care of your fucking people. Your people will take care of you. Maybe you got to go a year or two without a fucking McLaren. First world problems, I know. Okay, but yeah, like I don't run my business like these fucking MBAs, and probably why I have to work really hard. Probably why I will struggle to retire. But I'm okay with that. Like it's anyway. Okay, let's see. See Rise 16 says tell him to get lost. Yeah, okay. This is so we got Drunk Master and Drunk Master XXL. Trump 20. Yeah, we'll see if he runs again. I don't know, man. Okay, Soul Extractor 640. It's all fucked up. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's just like I said, it can get. It doesn't take a lot, guys, to make the economy move a little bit better. It doesn't take a lot to give the young people hope. It's hard to give. One of the problems that we have today is that we have so many boomers. You have, I mean, literally the largest generation that was ever born. Now we got to take care of them, right? If you want to win elections, you got to cater to these people, right? And what do old people want? Old people want their Medicare. They want their Social Security, right? They might want cheaper drug prices, right? They want the value of their 401ks to stay high. They want their home values to stay high. You can't get these guys to vote for you if you tell them, hey, you know what, you fucking people, you've been here too goddamn long. We need to help out the people that are coming after you. And we need to help the people, not only that are coming after you, but the people that are coming after them. We got to help them too. Never going to happen. Like, not until the baby boomers die off, guys. Like, you're all fucked. Like, they're not going to do anything that helps a 20-something. They're going to let you guys go to college. You can go get $100,000 in debt. The federal government will pay for it. And then when you can't make any fucking money, guess what? They're coming after you. They're coming after you. And if you can't pay, they're going to garnish your wages. You're fucking barista at Starbucks making $16.50 an hour. They're going to come fucking take $2 an hour, your fucking salary every month. For that bullshit degree they gave you. So unfortunately, that's the country you guys are in right now. Okay, Pat Lucio 8612. At least Trump tries. He's not always right, but he tries. And I agree 100%, man. Pat, good point. And again, I'm very disappointed with Trump, but I will say that the guy tries things. He'll try all kinds of different things, and a lot of times he pulls back. And maybe he is just trying to kind of, hit the strategy is throw the grenade in the room, right, and see what happens, and then kind of move in that direction. Maybe that is what Trump's trying to do. But at some point, he is going to have to help the younger generation. He's going to have to help the small business owners. He can't always do what's good for big business. He can't always do what's good for the boomers, right? He can't always do what is good for people with money, right? They've already got money. They've already got everything they need, And again, if all the people with the money and all the people with the big business simply outsource everything or bring the third world in or move over to AI, and then there's nobody else, they don't need American workers, right? What happens to you guys? You all end up on welfare. You all end up on which will become UBI. I keep saying this. Elon Musk is coming out with the Optimus robot. I was just in Austin, Texas. I saw one at their Tesla store, right? As soon as these things come out, guys, you're all on fucking welfare. You're all going to be on UBI. Like I've said it many times as an employer, like it's cheaper for me to put you guys on welfare in many cases than it is to try and employ you. And that's fucked up. It's sad. It's the saddest thing, but it's the honest to God truth. Why would I would rather pay these high taxes and let you fuckers be on welfare than try and bring you in and teach you something. Because there's no incentive for me as a business owner to bring you in here and teach you something because you all need $25 an hour, like day one, because the cost of living is so high. You know, it's all kinds of wrong, guys. And I don't say this because this is how I think it should be. Like this is the black pill kind of talk about how employers see employees. You know, and it shouldn't be this way. And the government could fix it, but they won't do it. It's not going to happen. Okay, Paige Matheson, 8601. He's better than Bite Me. Yeah, I know, man. I agree. I agree. And again, I don't. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Okay, Mikey Pikey's in here, 2743. Good to see you, Mikey. Okay, you're not at least 41, right? You're not at least 40. I'm 46, man. I'm talking to you guys as like I'm in my midlife here, and I'm talking to you guys about the young people, right? I'm talking about the people that come after me, right? These are the people that I want to help, right? And again, as a like I've got a nice house. I got everything I need in life. Okay. If the value of my home gets cut in half because we build a shit ton more homes, like I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me one bit. Like I'm good. You know, maybe my fucking property taxes will go down because the value of my home goes down. That would be awesome. I'm all for that. You know, but Trump's not trying to get my vote. Okay. Soul Extractor 640. Trump ain't perfect. Yeah, I know. And maybe he's better than the alternative. But like, that's the thing, guys. Like, is that the world you want to live in where you got shitty and shittier, right? Your choices are, you know, commie Kamala and fucking, you know, pro-capitalist Trump. Like, again, Trump's not as fucking capitalist as you guys think he is. You know, I just got done. I mean, I've been arguing with you guys in the stream about how small business really works. You know, this guy's catering to anybody that has a large corporation. Why do you think he didn't put the tariffs in? Why do you think he backed off all the tariffs? You think it's because he wanted to negotiate with all these other countries? Fuck no, it wasn't. It was because everyone that has a mega corporation that utilizes the third world was going to lose their ass. You saw their stock prices get cut in half in one day. I think it wasn't the largest drop in the stock market since Black Friday. Like I could be off there, but since basically I think it was what 1986, like largest drop since then, over the threat of tariffs. Okay, that tells you that our economy is literally built on the third world, right? You guys, we got a guy in here from Florida. Like you go to any housing development in America, like it's all full of Hispanic people. There's no fucking Americans there, none of them. Why do you think we don't have E-Verify here? You think it's because Trump doesn't know that E-Verify would literally solve our immigration problem in the stroke of a pen? He's not going to do it because again, the people that his own HUD director, Bill Pulte, owns a housing company. It would crush their businesses. They would actually have to hire the poor black guy down the street to fucking frame houses. They would actually have to teach this guy who isn't going to go to college, right? Who's been on welfare most of his life. They would actually have to give him a real skill. But they don't want to do that. I mean, do you guys? Am I the only in here that's old enough to remember when businesses we just hired people out of high school and we just fucking taught them some shit and that was good enough? Like that's kind of what I did. Like you did. Why don't we do that anymore? Why does everyone have to go to fucking college? You know, and get the same degree that they've been giving out for 30 years. You know why you guys can't make any fucking money with a business degree? Because there's 10 million of them. You can't make any money as a psychologist. There's 10 fucking million psychology degrees. Everybody, you know, fucking had to have a psychology degree. You know why I make tons of money as a furniture maker? Because nobody wants to make furniture. Not tons of money. I make middle class living, you know. But do something hard, you're always going to have work. That's man. You guys got me going. I love these comments, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. This is Soul Extract 640. Trump ain't perfect. Yep, got it. Okay. Drunk Master XXL. Mortgage. Trump equals mortgage approvals. Drunk Master, I'm curious what you're saying there, man. Elaborate on that, please. That's interesting comment. Okay, Young Fresh, 7980. Okay, you got lots of emojis. We got Young Fresh 7980 again, bro. This is hilarious. It's like therapy. You're just venting. Yes, and I said that earlier in the stream. It is kind of like that. And again, as small business owners, we have very few people who we can talk to, right? And this has actually been a great way to vent. I talk about all kinds of things all day. But I've worked on getting the YouTube channel going for 3 years now. And I finally have this thing completely monetized. It's all, you know, it makes money and all these kind of things, which is great. But it's just one more thing that I've been able to cross off my list. Okay, monetize YouTube channel, done. Right now, so I got to move on to something else. And so there's there's very few goals that I have in my life that I can kind of work on. Very few people that do what I do that I can talk to. So this is one of those things where I can try and help other people to do this kind of thing. Maybe there's other small business owners that deal with the kind of shit that I deal with. That I can banter this kind of stuff back and forth with. So I don't. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. But yeah, you're right, man. And Young Fresh, great comment. Great comment. You're 100% right. Okay. Sierra Duel. They wanted BlackRock to own everyone's home eventually. Yeah, and again, like getting rid of private equity and these BlackRock, I guess which used to be Blackstone, get these companies to not buy homes is helpful, right? I mean, every little bit helps. But then I don't think that I don't think it actually went through. I think that got killed in Congress, by the way. You might have to Google that one, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. Trump talked about it, but it's not going to happen. Just like when Trump said that he wants to cap credit cards at 10% for a year. That's never going to happen because again, Trump doesn't care about you guys. Like it's just, and again, I voted for Trump. I like Trump. I'm the guy that had the Trump 2024 sign on his deck in Illinois, liberal Illinois, for a year. So, but I don't think this guy cares about young people at all. He's done nothing for young people. This guy is catering to boomers. He's catering to big business, and it's a damn shame. Like I said, it's a damn shame. So, okay, see, Mikey Pike. Mikey Pikey, 2743. Trump is good for small businesses. Okay, man. And again, I've said it many times. Like I just bought a CNC router, and I did it with bonus depreciation. I get it, but he's not helping me hire people. The tax cuts that he gives me, tiny ass tax cuts. Again, I still got to pay 7.5% fucking in payroll taxes. I still got to pay exorbitant insurance. I still got to pay exorbitant workman's comp. It's like my employees need to make more money because the fucking houses are so goddamn expensive, right? Because their homeowners insurance is expensive. Their property taxes keep going up. Their car insurance keeps going up. Like, again, I have to pay all these people. And when you don't lower the cost of life for people, guess what? It falls on the small business owners. And guess what? I don't fucking outsource all my work to the third world, which means I got to pay the $32.50 an hour that I'm talking about. Meanwhile, the people that are building fucking homes right now, they're paying either people from the third world or they're getting all their shit from the third world, which is dirt cheap made with slave labor. Okay, we don't do that here. So again, small business is tough, man. And Trump isn't doing as much as you think he is. All right, online Karen, teach a guy to fish, and he's gonna fish. He's gonna fish all your fish. I've never heard it put that way, but yeah, I mean, I guess so. I like to think there's enough fish for everyone. I think that's kind of the way it's supposed to be. But that's good. I've never heard it said that way. But thank you. This is online Karen. All right, man, great name too. All right, Soul Extract 640. Small businesses are good for the community. Yes, and this is how I see it. Like the small businesses hire from the community. Like because when we started this business, we hired from all around it. We hired from and it's a very poor area. We hired from these people, but as our company grew, these people didn't grow with us. They didn't have the skills. They didn't have the social skills. They didn't have the ability to come to work on time every day, to not smoke weed, to take maybe 1 or 2 cigarette breaks a day and not 10. They didn't have the ability to leave their fucking home life at home. They were lacking a lot of things. They didn't want to get better at what they did. They did not like being told that what they did wasn't good enough. So now we don't hire from there anymore. So now we have other people that we hire, and it's just that's unfortunately that's how it is. Okay. All right, last couple of comments here, guys. I'm giving you guys give way more time than I thought I was going to give you guys. Man, we got a lot of comments. Holy shit, man! You guys really came in. Okay, let's let me find. Let's do 10 more comments real quick. Actually, take that. We're gonna do 5 more comments real quick. I appreciate everyone hanging out today. It's a real passionate topic for me, and again, some people don't agree with me, and that's cool. But again, small business owner. I don't sell you guys nothing except furniture. You guys can go to the resplendentcrow.com and see our furniture and see what it is that we do. Again, most people can't afford it, but it's a real business, guys. And so when I talk about this stuff, I'm not trying to get sponsors. I'm not trying to get clicks. I'm not trying to sell you guys, fucking T-shirts that were made in China, right? All I sell is American furniture, made in America by Americans for Americans. So, all right, we got who is this? Haven't seen you, Jonathan Zombek 2426. Jonathan, thanks for being here. My boy moves all the product. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. This is user TTB 549. If voting mattered, you wouldn't be allowed to do it. I think that's pretty good, man. Great comment. Okay, Sierra Duel. Okay, well, boy, are we in for a massive tax waste if Iran pops up. It's currently like one of our largest military deployments in the world, too. Smash all, because Bibi came here and cried to Trump. Yeah, I know. And again, I don't like this whole, when everyone tries to associate everything with Israel. But I got to admit, like, the more I see, it's like, why do we give a fuck about Iran? Why? Doesn't make any sense. And again, why do we always side with this country that's constantly fighting with everyone in their region? I don't know why we give a fuck about that country either. Um, we got a whole continent called Africa where there's genocide that goes on all the time. There's people that are repressed all the time. They're fucking everywhere. I mean, pick your country. There's like 50 of them over there. We never go there, because the truth is it's not about genocide. It's not about black people, white people, poor people. It's about rich people, right? That's what everything is about today, and it fucking pisses me off as a taxpayer, as an American. If Israel and Iran want to fucking nuke each other, go for it. Great, I'm all in. Then I don't have to hear about it anymore, and that's how I look at it. Like you fucking people, you all go kill each other, and I'll go back to work making furniture. And it won't affect me one bit. Like, great, I don't have to send $4 billion to Israel. I don't have to send tons of my tax dollars to these people for weapons, which they then come back to our weapons providers and buy from us. Like, I save $4 billion a year, and I don't have to hear about Iran and fucking Israel. I don't have to hear about Gaza and Israel. I don't have to hear about Jeffrey Epstein and Israel. I don't have to hear about any of these fucking countries. Like, just let them deal with each other. We'll hang back here in the cut, and we'll just all be merry and again, let them all do whatever they want to do. Israel, what's the other one? The Russia, Ukraine, like all these people, like let them do their own thing. I'm tired of being involved in everyone else's shit. Fucking tired of it. You guys know that it costs $20 million a day to keep one Navy carrier brigade just sitting, or whatever they call it. I don't know if it's a brigade, a carrier group, excuse me, to set over there in the Middle East right now. $20 million a day. Okay, how fucking long are we going to set this up over there, right? The DOD can't pass a fucking audit, but they can send carriers all over the. We send a whole shit ton of people down to Venezuela to go snatch some guy. Why did we send that down there? Because we care about the sovereignty of their government? No, we want access to their fucking oil. The reason we haven't gone over to Africa and stopped all the genocides in Rwanda and fucking Darfur is because, again, they're poor fucking black people. They don't got any fucking oil. They don't own businesses. They're not known as a rent-seeking population. So we don't want anything to do with them. They're fucking dumb. They're useless. That place could disappear tomorrow, and America wouldn't give two shits about them. But if you got oil, right? If you're good at rent seeking, you're awesome at being lawyers. Like, we got all the time in the world for you. We got all the resources for you. You got all the access you want. And I'm fucking done with it. And I think the people that are coming before me, or excuse me, coming after me, I think they're all done with it too. And so we need to bring American resources back to America. We need to build up the people that we have here. We got veterans. We got a lot of people that need our fucking help. We got tons of homeless people on the West Coast where I'm from. All those people need our fucking help. And we're going over to fucking Iran. It's just we got so much work to do in this country, guys. Okay, so yep. Again, sorry guys, I know I'm fucking. You guys are probably putting comments, and let's go to a few more comments. Who's this? We got gut feeling commented on one of my videos today, man. I appreciate watching that video. Okay, you love playing fence today. Sorry, man, I'm not fence sitting one bit. Okay, but what was the Dow during this time? Yeah, again, the Dow's always gone up, guys. Whenever a president talks about the Dow, they're all full of shit. The fucking Dow's gone up under the last 4 presidents. You know why the Dow goes up every year? I think Son's in here. He'll attest us. The reason the Dow goes up every year isn't have anything to do with our economy, guys. It has to deal with the Fed being willing to print money. That's it. That's all that matters. The minute the United States has to pass a balanced budget, guess what happens? The economy goes into recession, and the 10-year mortgage collapses, right? Which means you will have affordable mortgages. Okay, that's it. The Fed has fucked this country over 7 ways from Sunday, and they call it progress because the stock market goes up every year. They call it progress because you can get cheap televisions from fucking China, right? God damn it, guys. Okay, a few more comments. I'm getting out of here. Okay, who do we got in here? Let me go down to kind of the end here. Son's in here. Son, you're here, man. All right. Son says. This is Netanyahu wrote in 95, excuse me, Netanyahu, I guess it's Netanyahu, wrote his book in 95, book Muslims would attack the towers, and said this again in an interview. The thing about Netanyahu, guys, is this guy's been fucking talking about, he's been talking shit for 30 years at this point. And again, none of this shit he says ever comes true. Iran's been fucking ready to nuke these guys and had nuclear weapons programs and been going after this country for 30 years at this point. It's never happened. Okay? It's never happened. Maybe that's because we're there. Maybe that's because we're like the big bully behind the little fucking nerd talking shit. Like, I don't know if that's why it is, but again, this guy's full of shit. And every year we fall for this shit. And I don't think the American people are dumb. I don't think American people think this is what's really going on. But again, we support these people with all of our resources. I mean, any resources these guys want, they have it. Access to anyone in our government, they have it. Again, why? Why the fuck do we care about these people? Why? They're a little fucking shithole country with 6 million people over there. Why the fuck do we care about them? Like, we literally liberated these fucking people in 1945, and for some reasons, like, we still owe them. Like, you motherfuckers owe us. What the fuck are you doing saying we owe you? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's like, geez. Okay, gut feeling says source from India. I source my hardware from India. Yes, I'm wildly open about it. You guys want to call me a hypocrite? Great. It's 10% of my revenue. There was someone in here who says that they make hardware somewhere here in America. Reach out to me. Let me know if there's a company that makes really good, high quality brass hardware. I would absolutely entertain the idea of selling. My hardware sells for so much goddamn money. I imagine I could even afford American hardware. Okay, Soul Extract. Finally, this is what I'm saying. We need to build up our nation. I know, man. I'm 100%, 100%. Blah blah blog 4322. You're so full of nonsense. Okay, thanks, blah blah blog. Hey, hit the like button, blah blah blog. I appreciate being here. Thanks for the comment. Bob the Weaver 43. The Dow goes up because that's what it's designed to. Yeah, that's, man, maybe you're right. That's. I mean, I'd buy that. Sun says most stocks barely break even after inflation calculated. Man, 100%. Sun's smart, man. You guys need to pay attention to Sun. The guy is a fucking wizard when it comes to money and the history of stock market and Fed and all this kind of stuff. Okay, last couple comments. We got two last comments here. We got who's this? Cowboy Troy 11's in here, man. Cowboy Troy, glad you're here. Cowboy Troy's been here a couple times. I appreciate it. Anyone that comes back and listens to me blather on about shit, I really appreciate it. If you guys add comments, so on and so forth. It's just like I said, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Okay, imagine a head full of this shit. Okay, that's not the guy, but great comment. Okay, if you don't like it, get the fuck out, man. Cowboy Troy, I agree 100%, man. And again, as an American citizen, I can disagree with my government. I can disagree with my president. I can disagree with all these things. And that's the great thing about being an American, man. We get to have these conversations. So, but yeah, you're 100% right. If people don't like it, get out. You know, and again, you don't like what I have to say, you think I should get out. That's whatever, man. I disagree, but man, I appreciate your comment. Okay, speaking out that most 18 and 20-year-olds conservatives feel about what's going on. Yeah, I know. I get it, man. Cowboy Troy loves fence sitters. All this here is all truth. Okay. This shit is crazy, man. It's Benjamin. Benjamin, you got the last comment, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out today. I gave you guys damn near 2 hours. I appreciate letting me vent. And I appreciate going back and forth with you guys on the comments. And again, real small business. We make American furniture. We got I got 8 or 10 people at this point. It's a low 7-figure business, and it's a decent company. We again employ a lot of people here, and we teach you how to do all kinds of fun things. And it's a great way to make money. And anybody can do this thing. You don't have to be some special person. Again, never graduated high school. But just got to work really hard, get really good at something, get a website, market the shit out of yourself, get on Instagram, get on Facebook, show people what it is you do, and don't be humble. You are the fucking master of your destiny. What you do is better than anybody else, and be the ambassador for your product, right? Do those things, do it long enough, and good things will happen. So that's kind of how I see it. So, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks out. Peace out. Everyone's saying goodbye. Loser. Okay, thanks, Cowboy Troy. I appreciate it. And Fence Sitter. I get it. Gut Freeland. Anybody that pays attention to this, watch my videos. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great night.